By the way of Wichita, Kansas, Data Walker.
Data Walker looking very intense here. Arzate looking very loose and relaxed.
I'll agree to that.
Holding an amateur record of 1 win, no losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, training at a combative sports center by way of Manhattan, Kansas. Give it up for Anthony Arzate!
Nice roll of the arm.
Gotta love the roll of the R there.
Yeah, you gotta love the roll.
Willie's great. Love it every time he's rocking the ring. And we are on, folks.
And here we go.
What's the last name? Walker. Walker looking very relaxed.
Both fighters in orthodox stance. Immediate inside leg kick by Arzate.
Lands.
Stepped in with that pendulum and returned by Walker. The poise of these gentlemen is impressive for first-timers. Goes high with the kick.
Anthony's been here before, but just has one fight behind him.
They both are actually looking pretty relaxed for some newer fighters.
Yep.
We've not seen, that was the first hands of the fight. Another inside leg kick.
Well, looks like we got a little bit of a fight here, guys. It's good.
Outside leg kick, cautious with the hands here, really working that range, you know. MMA is so complicated. You have kicking, clinching, trapping, all of these different things, and these gentlemen look to be trying to test each other at long-range striking at the moment.
Yeah, they're putting up a good fight here.
And now Walker goes high, outside Mawashikiri, roundhouse kick.
Well, throwing a lot of kicks. Lots of kicks. I like it. I like it.
Both corners advising their fighters to push a little bit right now.
I like the fill-out process. This is a pretty good one for a couple of new fighters. Good fill-out process.
And that's great that you mentioned that, JW, that feeling out process. You know, without it's so common for people in the amateur divisions to rush in and have quick finishes like we saw in our previous fight. These guys are very calm, very poised here.
It is extremely difficult. This is the one thing that you cannot teach in training. You know, you can train for 13 years like this guy, you know, that in front of us that says he has done. But you cannot train anybody for what it's like inside the cage. That is something they have to experience themselves.
And Mike, you're a purple belt in the art of jiu-jitsu. Walker is as well. With your expertise in that art, what would you be thinking of trying to probably take this fight to the ground, right?
Well, right now they're both looking very comfortable. So, you know, Data Walker has a kickboxing background, you know, to go along with his purple belt in jiu-jitsu. So, you know, as long as
Walker goes high again,
technical punch.
and Anthony lands a hard jab there.
Yeah,
Nice
good
jab.
technical fight here.
Yeah, so
These guys don't look like amateurs.
Yeah, they don't look like amateurs, and I don't expect to see Data Walker or Anthony try to take just the ground unless maybe they get
No,
caught.
they look like they're having fun.
Yeah. I mean, that changes when you get caught, but till then.
And
yeah, exactly.
the intensity appears to be building. 10 seconds left in the round.
Yep, three-minute rounds.
Anthony putting pressure, lands an
Nice.
overhand left hook.
They're both keeping their distance.
Inside leg kick.
A nice first round.
That was very nice round.
Cha-ching. First round in the book. JW, what did you think about that round there?
Well, it was fun to watch. It wasn't a street fight or just a out brawl. It was good that these guys were showing a little poise, and you know what? I enjoy watching technical fights like this. These guys look good.
Walker not taking a seat between rounds. Joe Wilk has a seated Zarte. Can't see what they're saying, hear what they're saying. What would you be saying, J-Dub?
Well, I would kind of say to if I was Walker's corner, I would probably tell him to keep coming with that head kick. It's gotten close a couple of times, and he, if you watch, what's this cat's name?
Anthony Azarte.
Azarte. Okay, Azarte. Okay, Azarte. If I'm Walker's coach, I'm telling him to keep going for that head kick.
All right. Here they go, ready to go. Interesting that Walker's corner had him standing the entire rest period, using a little ice.
You know, I don't have a problem with that. I've seen that a lot, and I sit down personally, but you know, do you do that in practice? Do you sit down in practice? We're not allowed to sit down between rounds in practice, so I'd assume, you know, you're not going to get anything any better sitting.
And there we go.
Takes him down. Takes him down.
And Quick trying to get to the back.
Immediately, Walker utilizing his jiu-jitsu. Anthony Azate trying to shrug him off over the top.
The leg. And nice. And side control.
Yes.
Azate takes top position on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, utilizing good pressure. Walker utilizing a half guard position to try to maintain some defense.
Got his underhooks.
Oh, I thought he was going to try to elevate him there. Here we go. Here he goes.
He's looking for the butterfly.
He's trying to elevate.
And
get
he's
back to
put his hook underneath his opponent's knee here. Walker on bottom, and he's going to attempt to utilize his hips to elevate his opponent and roll him over to get top position.
Actually, he's going after a leg lock here. Looks like he's going for
knocked him out. He's knocked out.
It's over.
He's knocked out.
Yeah, he's out.
Nice.
And Anthony Azarte.
There is where you separate jiu-jitsu from strikers, right there.
Yeah, you going for that grappling, it's fine. You don't have to take care of your face. You're going for what looks to be a heel hook on the outside, and then you catch a couple.
Yeah,
and then it's over.
Well, you know, this is my coach, Zach Cummings. He says, you know, he doesn't want to see anybody going for leg locks in MMA unless they are absolutely in a safe position because of this, what just happened right here.
Yeah.
And he caught him with a punch and just it ended that quick. Boom, 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 boom.
Anthony Azate, heavy hands. You know, Dada Walker possibly trying to use some type of jiu-jitsu strategy and not managing the distance for self-defense jiu-jitsu or for MMA jiu-jitsu. Several heavy shots, and with his head against the floor and no room to absorb those shots, he was out.
Yeah, so at Combative Sports Center lately, I guess maybe in the last 4 months, Joe Wilk has been having us do the combat jiu-jitsu, the open hand slaps, for just this reason, because you get too comfortable thinking like I'm just going to play leg locks with this guy, and you don't realize that even if you're going for what looks to be a pretty nice straight leg lock, you can still get slapped in the back of the head.
And that's the huge difference between MMA jiu-jitsu, self-defense jiu-jitsu, and sport jiu-jitsu in the kimono or the gi.
Absolutely. You don't have to worry about strikes. Yeah, perfect example right there of what you can do if you are technically a good striker and you get against it. We had a white belt versus a purple belt on the ground.
White belt won.
Yep, white belt kept his he had his posture was high. I felt like he was keeping his hips high. I assumed that had he not got that knockout, he was going to either get the leg lock put on him or he was going to get rolled over.
Yeah. And
high as he was holding his hips.
In my privileged position to be around the guys at CSC really regularly, I'd honestly seen Anthony Azate working that dump, elevating the hips to get somebody off his back, and working on that pressure. So that's very impressive to see him utilize techniques he'd been studying in camp.
That's great to see. Good fight. Great fight. Entertaining. Definitely entertaining. Looks like we got a little bit. All right, there we go.
Robert Hastings has called a stop to this fight at 53 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner by knockout, Anthony Azate!
Congratulations to that man.
Yeah, congratulations to Anthony Azate. Takes the W.
Heavy hands.
And gets the pre-fight or post-fight interview. I guess we are doing that.
First things first, CSC, I love you. Thank you, everybody who's supporting me involved. And this is all to you guys for Joe Wilk and Jared Coleman. I feel really good. I never knocked anybody out before, so that should Paul. So what's next? What can we expect out of you next? Back to training, back to working hard, okay first, and then back in here.
I like it when the guys give respect to their camp.
Anthony Azate.
Yeah, all right.
On to our third bout, guys.
Third bout, and this one's right in Cole's wheelhouse. This will be a kickboxing at 170 pounds, sponsored by Godfrey's Indoor Ranges and Tactical Supply.
All right. Kickboxing it is.
Kickboxing it is. Clay Smith, you won't back down. A little Tom
Blue
Petty.
lights are on, entering the ring.
To Tom
So
Petty.
Yep, Tom Petty.
I like the choice of music.
Also mellow, but not quite Adele.
Agreed.
So Clay Smith, 2-1, fighting out of Spartan Academy in Wichita, Kansas. He has a traditional martial arts background and mixing it with Thai boxing, Muay Thai.
Yeah, so I had a good interview with Clay Smith. I asked him, why do you fight? And he says, well, I always like to get into fist fights growing up, so, why not add kicks? All right.
I really like, everybody's got a different answer for that question.
Yeah.
And
we've got some good ones tonight, JW.
yeah, and Mike, he's dedicating this fight to a past friend, correct?
Yeah, Jacob Aguilera, co-worker, his family friend. He brought his family. Jacob Aguilera's family is in the crowd here to support him. And just goes to show you the communities that we have here in the Midwest.
And that's something that, highlights, the personal story of these fighters. These guys don't just exist for 9 minutes inside the ring. There's family life, there's work, there's everything that these guys have to manage in addition to their training, in addition to the drama of the fight sport, This is the hardest sport in the world, You have to deal with the conditioning and also the mental game of taking physical punishment and somebody intending you physical harm.
Training to beat you up.
Training to get beat up and to beat people up.
I think that this is a great outlet for what he's talking about. I can relate, definitely growing up, having, issues with, family and whatnot. You grow up, you get, in situations where, you just learn to fight. That's what you do. That's the answer to things. And that may or may not be wrong in some people's eyes. I feel I'm old school. I think that a couple of kids having problems with bullying at school, go and punch that guy right in the head. It usually cures it. But not everybody agrees with me. But again, I can relate to what he's saying, and I think this is a great outlet for guys like this to come in and kind of do this in a productive way.
Absolutely, JW. I absolutely couldn't agree more. Martial arts changed my life. I recommend it to everybody. Everybody who's listening tonight, if you're inspired by the fighters tonight, go join your local karate academy. Go join your local jiu-jitsu school.
I'm a little biased.
Get in and do some MMA.
Yeah, go to jiu-jitsu.
This is a beautiful expression, for men, women, children. It'll up your confidence. It'll up your fitness.
Absolutely.
And just like you were saying, man, if there's
giant.
a problem in your life, it looks a lot smaller after getting in the ring for a few minutes.
Absolutely. And even if you don't want to get in the cage and try this out, jiu-jitsu has changed my life too. I never seriously got into jiu-jitsu until about a year ago when I went to Zach Cummings, and I did it so that I could defend it and not get taken down and beaten. By jiu-jitsu. Since I've started jiu-jitsu, I will never stop. No matter how, if I'm alive, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu, even when I'm finished fighting.
And
absolutely,
I couldn't think of a higher praise for a martial art than an MMA fighter with 58 fights saying, I'm going to study jiu-jitsu for the rest of my life.
I had no idea what it would do for me.
Yeah.
Just the art itself is something you got to sit down and respect it every now and again.
Absolutely love talking jiu-jitsu, but we got to give Chia Wu his
Yep.
respect and due. Coming here, he's also a local fighter coming out of Rico Steel MMA and Fitness. He's been at this for about a year and a half. I gotta say, he was a tough interview. He seemed very nervous. He didn't really want to talk, but looking at him now, and maybe those nerves are underneath the surface. He just looks angry.
Some of these guys don't deal with it as well as others.
Yeah.
Chia Wu, 2-1 though. He's had scraps before. He's had W's. He's had a loss, which is very important sometimes for an amateur fighter's composure. Rico Steele's MMA, Jiu-Jitsu under Marcus Barrett, Professor Marcus Barrett, black belt in Gracie Academy, and doing Muay Thai under Rico Steele.
Ladies and gentlemen, this kickboxing match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This kickboxer stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. He has a kickboxing record of 2 wins with 1 loss. Training out of Spartan Academy by way of Wichita, Kansas, Clay Smith.
Both these fighters look like they're in pretty good shape.
Fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner.
I really liked how Clay Smith walked to the center of the ring, almost taking control of the energy in the ring. You know,
I like that also.
1 loss. Fighting out of Rico Steel MMA right here in Junction City, Kansas. Give it up for Ty Woo!
Kind of plays into the part of the mental warfare.
Expect to see a Thai clinch from Chia Wu. That'll be both hands.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize for calling him Chia right now.
Oh, wow.
Apparently it's Chai.
Chai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chai.
Chai's easy to remember.
Yes. And here we go. Cole, again, this is your background, your forte. What are you looking for other than, as you said, the Thai clinches?
The Thai clinch, I'd like to see both hands wrapped around the back of the head, not the neck. And there we go. We see it immediately, the start of it. Half tie. Now we're in a double underhook position, and they're separated. Now this will be American kickboxing rules. Low kick.
Yeah. I heard this. I heard his cup.
Yeah.
I heard his cup. Yeah. When you hear the cup, it's usually a clear indication that there's some pain involved. He'll get up to 5 minutes.
Yeah, about
folks.
5 minutes for that.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Up to 5 minutes.
Completely
if he can't continue, they will stop it.
Yeah, completely unintentional. Looked like he was aiming for the body there with the kick. It didn't look like a low kick actually.
No, I think that he'll probably do what most people do when they get a low kick. They take a few minutes, kind of compose themselves, and then they get back at it.
Yeah, he looks fine. Looks like he's just walking it off. And he'll take his time, but I think we'll have a fight.
Mike, JW, you can know this. As long as that kick's not too bad, sometimes that gets you the little bit of fire mad you need.
I can tell you what, like I have used low kicks, or I've used knees, low blows, just to rest. You know, you get into a heavy fight, and then sometimes it gets you that, that second burst of energy, gets you a second wind in there.
And that's some veteran fight experience right there, man. And we are ready to go. The fight is back on. Let's see some tango.
All right. Touching the gloves, and we're back. And
back leg, front kick, and then a snapping karate kick.
Yeah, they're using a lot of energy when he's throwing those kicks. He's not using any, feel out. The little light jab.
Ooh, that landed.
He's throwing heavy every shot. It might wear him out. Let's see how it goes. Oh, he
caught one there. He's hurt.
Kind of left. He is hurt. Goes for the clinch.
He's able to slow the action.
Drives his opponent against the cage. Smith does.
He had a chance to regain his composure here.
Yeah.
So his right now.
Eating left hands when he throws his right kick.
Yes, he's holding his hand down a little bit.
I guess his left
Bringing his head forward.
Wu is really working the angles here very well.
Got some strong legs.
Seems to be very composed. Yes, his legs are massive for a 170-pounder.
He's all legs.
Smith still looking composed.
Yeah, he's really loading up. Yeah. It's not hard to guess where
it's very easy to guess when he's throwing a shot. He's really projecting. Loading up. He's moving his head a little bit off.
And this is what I wanted to see, more action from the clinch, and that's the end of the round here, folks.
End of the round.
An interesting round. Very composed by Wu and a little bit chaotic, but still weathering the storm in the movement of Smith. Very fascinating.
Smith is throwing a lot of heavy blows. Like he's not really doing any feeling out. Every punch he's throwing a lot of strength into him. So let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, and I'm just looking over at him in the corner. He's breathing much heavier than Wu.
Wu's throwing, the lighter jabs, trying to feel out. He's not throwing the heavy punches. That's a
technique and timing though. It really hurt Smith.
Agreed. That's a sign of a well-conditioned and trained fighter. Is somebody that doesn't feel. This coming from me. Anybody that knows and seen any of my older fights will laugh their butt off at that statement.
Some passionate advice from Wu's kickboxing coach Rico Steele. Round 2 starts, gentlemen. Trading leg kicks immediately.
Again with the heavy kicks,
Now, Smith keeps going for these double underhook clinch in almost an MMA style defense, but there's no takedowns in this kickboxing match tonight.
Nope.
Excellent.
A shot to the body there by Wu.
A lot of clinching in this match tonight, Mike.
A lot of clinching, no takedowns.
Wu goes high and with a front leg teep kick.
It looks like Smith wanted to shoot there.
Yeah, it looked like he was going MMA.
And I really like the shin block there by Wu, utilizing that to keep the position.
Ooh.
He's catching him.
8-1. Oh, ate a kick right
He's
there.
in trouble. Smith is in trouble.
He is in trouble. He is looking to clinch right now.
Yeah, trying to get a rest.
Long way to go in this round, though.
Yes, there is.
Absolutely hanging on right now.
I'm digging the toughness of Clay Smith here. He's taking a lot of shots. He keeps coming in, clinching and pressing forward against Wu, who's landed the more damaging techniques tonight.
Yeah, Wu is definitely the more technical kickboxer here.
Oh,
see
slip.
what happens. Call that a slip. No point. Yeah, he keeps lowering his right hand, taking that left over and over again.
Smith is looking exhausted now. His mouth guard's hanging out of his mouth. He's breathing extremely deeply. Takes a right hook at the end of the round.
That goes back to that first round, throwing everything he had, wasn't able to land much, and the second round showed.
Yeah, back to what I was saying, for me to make a statement about somebody, throwing heavy punches, try to live and die by the sword, shall we say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're known for your hands.
And throwing heavy leather on every punch. Yeah, so Zach Cummings has completely changed my fighting style, and that is the first thing that he taught me. We're not going to go for these crazy long, leaping, hooks and overhands. We're going to set them up. And I've done nothing but work on that, and I have tried to get out of the habit, but I still in sparring, I try to take people's heads off, and it doesn't work out for me. I run out of gas quick, kind of like Mr. Smith here, and it never ends up doing well for me.
But with those changes you've made, you're coming in 4 victories in a row. Let's see if Smith can make a change in his game plan and pull this one out.
Very difficult to do that during a fight. Very difficult.
Yeah. He'll definitely need something here.
Veteran fighters are about the only ones that you can really get, guys that have a lot of experience.
Smith gives him a nod. He looks ready to go. His jab looked cleaner. 3 shots by Wu.
He's not even facing it. He's going to take a point from it.
Yeah, with a veteran fighter, I imagine you can say, hey, you remember that game plan we did back then? Try that.
Yeah, you can make adjustments in a fight. It takes a lot of experience. The newer guys have a hard time with it.
Yeah.
He's lowering his head a lot. He's taking his eyes off of the target. And what happens when you do that is that when you're not looking at what you're punching.
He's closing his eyes too. He's expecting to get hit.
Right, long left, another left.
Hits. So you close your eyes or you take your eyes off of your opponent, what happens is that you can't see the punches coming. It's the ones that you don't see coming are the ones that hurt you and knock you out. So what you need to do is keep your eye on the opponent. I would advise that to Mr. Smith in his next fight.
Yeah. Wu warned for pulling the back of the head and throwing a knee. Rico Steele, or at least the corner, Spartan Academy corner, excuse me, saying that Smith is ducking into it.
Yeah, he disagreed with the call.
One of the most effective techniques in Muay Thai is to pull your opponent's head down and knee the head. That is not legal in tonight's rules.
Now, there are knees to the face. There are knees to the face. Is that right, Clark?
Yeah, you can knee the face. You cannot supported knee the face. You can't pull them down with your gloves and knee the face. You can knee the body in tonight's rules. A few seconds left in this fight here.
Last flurry here.
Good fight.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, showed some toughness.
Our first, no, not our first fight.
This was our first fight to go the distance tonight. We'll leave it in the judges' hands.
I'd be surprised if this doesn't go to Wu.
I would be too. I would give it Wu 3 rounds to none.
Yeah, 3 rounds to none. Wu does not want to be looked at. Doctor saying it's my job.
Yeah, you have to be looked at. It's
Jia Wu, tough guy. You can just tell by his demeanor he's here to fight.
Yep.
Had a great performance and then just shook his head at his coach. Doesn't think he did well, and I think he put on an excellent performance this evening.
I do too. He definitely showed to be the more technical striker, in both kicking and punches, in my opinion, anyway.
Yep. Clay Smith here. He put everything he had into it again, fighting for his recently passed friend, Jacob Aguilera. I think what we just saw here is him paying respect to the family that came out to support him.
And that's what makes this sport so special is, these guys are only in the ring for a few minutes and they leave it all there.
Go to the judges' scorecard for your decision. All 3 judges score the contest 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner, Chai Wu!
And Chai Wu with the victory.
Well, I can see you're a man of very few words. It seems like there might have been a mix-up on your walkout. Did that have any kind of effect on your mental state of mind coming in?
No, I just wish I just put myself out.
All right, anything we can look forward to in the future from you?
I just have to say thanks to my coaches, Coach Rico, Coach Holiday, and Coach Mongas, even though this is only kickboxing. Thank you for all of you. And thank you for coming in to support me today. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Chai Wu!
Very similar to the interview I had with him.
A man of few words, very laconic in his
very
speaking.
Respectful. Yes. Very respectful. Oh, what's this? One of the co-owners Minute.
Yeah, Caden Russell taking that scrap on a you know, literal day's notice. Coming
hold on.
in.
I think they switched up the order on us. This is not David New.
Oh, Felix Iguarta coming in. He is 1-0. He is fighting out of Janjira Muay Thai in Wichita, Kansas, under you know, just a great Thai boxing academy there. Yeah, this should be exciting, you know. Both these gentlemen are undefeated, 1-0 in the amateur division.
I really do like the entrance music here, just imploring everybody to live your life.
And
live your life.
Actually, very interesting. David New is a very late replacement. Caden Russell, his previous opponent, was injured and was supposed to be Iguarta's opponent this evening. David New said, "Hey."
Well, David New had his opponent drop out. He was on this card. His opponent, Carlos Leon, dropped out, and so they put this fight together out of two people that whose opponents dropped out.
And there you go. This should be this will be an exciting bout. Felix Iguarta looking very ready.
Yeah, you know, I went to go get some to have a few words with Felix earlier, and you know, you just know when you should not bother a man. This guy was locked in, and there was nothing. I mean, there was no way that I was going to try to intrude on this.
Someday I hope to have your tact, Mike. I've never been good at that moment, hand wrapping or otherwise. I love to get these guys' stories.
Yeah. We'll work on it. And
yeah, I can tell you what, I can tell you out of personal experience that these amateur bouts often get canceled, or somebody doesn't show, or you know, somebody doesn't get their blood work done. There's a lot that goes into this, and you know, I hope the folks at home realize that you know what it takes to put one of these shows together.
Yeah.
You know, I ran 9 shows myself, and I have to say I actually. You know, I mentored Sam, or consulted Sam in his first show. So to see him run a show this well and have it this well, like you know, it looks like a well-oiled machine right now. Yeah,
you know, Sam is wonderful, and I did not. Now I know where he gets it.
Yeah, he and I ran his first show together. I consulted for him. And he since then has taken over and done an amazing job.
Battle for All Hallows Eve, that seems like a long time ago, but that was a fun show.
Yes.
Yeah, Sam Kleinbeck, one of the owners of Never Surrender MMA, Army veteran. You know, Never Surrender is for veterans, by veterans, you know. A lot of good things this company does to try to promote their cause and really help folks out. Frank Portillo is the co-owner of this, just trying to...
Frank's a great guy. Frank's a great guy, yeah.
Yeah, and both of them, you know, Frank is a black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu. Sam is a black belt in Kempo and, you know, trains jiu-jitsu as well.
Right. And here we have David New, though. David New managed to make it all the way here from Hays, Kansas, fighting for Team Prophecy. We'll hear more about him in a minute.
3 rounds in the lightweight division in a battle of the undefeated. Introducing first, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This man is a Muay Thai fighter with a perfect record of 1 win, no losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 151 pounds. Fighting out of JMTK by way of Wichita, Kansas, the gentleman, Felix Igakura. His opponent, fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, also holding a perfect record, 1 win, no losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 150 pounds. Training out of Team Prophecy by way of Hays, Kansas. Give it up for David!
All right, and here we go. David New, Felix Iguarta.
And Felix is the guy in the blue shorts?
Yes.
All right. Leg kick, landed.
Yep, lands a leg kick. David New says, you know, he's been working on everything, and, you know, it's kind of everything gets thrown out the window. But, you know, both fighters have their, you know, are dealing with the same thing.
Yeah, they both look
smooth
pretty polished.
movement,
Yeah,
smooth
good polished
movement.
fighters. Ooh, nice little 1-1-2.
1-1-2 there.
Answers.
And David New has a powerful right hand. We've seen it before.
Oh, yeah, there he just
made
got
it.
him with it.
Ew.
Boom! Lights out, lights out.
Man, that's it.
Holy smoke, could have said it any better timing. Wow.
I just mentioned that right hand.
And there
that
it was.
That was the same right hand
Yeah,
that caught
he threw it
Caden
twice.
Russell.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah.
David New moves to 2-0
Almost
with
a
that
standing
right
KO.
hand.
Yeah, he stood up. He socked him and he just went. Yeah, he went loopy and just stayed standing like, boy.
Yeah, he clipped him with the first one. The second one just put him down.
Got some blood coming out. It's a good punch. Yeah, he does have a crisp little right, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
You know, people call it being blessed with venom, you know, but blessed with that power. You know, you can train technique all day long. Some people have that shoulder alignment, that hip alignment that enables you to deliver a tremendous amount of force. You would know a lot about that, wouldn't you, JW?
I lived and died by it. I tell you what, it's you know, you living and dying by the sword. You know, it's good if you can put some technique behind that, and it looked like he really did. You know, he had some other stuff going on.
Very well placed. Look at the first one clipped on the forehead, the one that, you know, got Felix Aguardo a little bit woozy. The second one, I don't know if you saw this, but clearly broken nose.
I don't know if he broke it, but he definitely,
his nose,
yeah, it was a free shot for sure because he was just standing there with his hands down.
Yeah.
You know, the power that you speak of, Cole, is like you said, you cannot teach it. It's you know, something that. It's something with the, you know, genetics, whatever you want to call it. You know, just good mechanics. You look at some guys, and you go to baseball. You look at some guys, and they're skinny. They're not real big, but they can whack that ball, and they can put it over the fence like the big guys can. And it kind of comes down to there's mechanics involved, and there's just, you know, being able to see something coming, see some head movement, timing, range, all that stuff. But some people just have it.
And that belief in your own power is so important. And you know, I think, you know, David New says competition is how he compares himself to his past self, and you've made a lot of evolution in your current martial arts training, have you not, JW, with your upcoming fight?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if we're not to get off subject here and start talking about me, but in my situation there, you know, we knew that, like, obviously I lost, you know, in January versus, you know, WWE wrestler Jack Swagger, was taken down, you know, and that was kind of why I was, you know, paid.
Good to see Felix back on his feet after that heavy knockout.
At 36 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by knockout, David New!
If I'm not mistaken, that's 2 wins here at Never Surrender MMA for David New, under 1 minute 20 seconds in the ring.
And 2 with a right hand that dropped Caden Russell that he then finished with a rear naked choke. Caden with a strong chin, and then here landing 2 devastating shots on Felix Iguarta.
Yes, I got this kid in there. That's always nice to see. I have 3 little ones that enjoy coming in my fights, and they always want to come inside the cage. It's nice that Sam lets them do that.
All right, and I think we're back here at Never Surrender MMA in Junction City, Kansas for the second part of our card. Looking at the entrance right now, it looks like Ryan Grant coming to us from Waveman, fighting out of Waveman in Salina, Kansas under John McDowell and Brandon Shippey. You know anything about Ryan Grant?
I have he's 1-1 in martial arts. I'm so excited about these fights. I just spilled my beer on your laptop, Mike. But Ryan Grant trained out of Waveman. He's 1-1 in martial arts here. This should be an exciting fight.
Yeah, so I talked to him yesterday, and he's like, and he wanted us to know, you know, he's been doing this his whole life. I don't know. It's a little, I believe everybody. This guy's got 22 years. He's 22 years old. He says he's got 9 years of experience and over 30 exhibition fights, he estimates.
So he has a karate background. That was my original discipline as well. And this could go either way. You know, karate has a very unique kicking methodology, very unique in and out movement, but it also has not always had the best use of its hands, especially in defense and especially in MMA. And it's also been questionable, you know, its utility when takedowns are involved.
Next, we'll see Q-Sean Pryor from Combative Sports Center. Now, Q and I are training partners, and so I can tell you about you know, a lot about Q. He's got a purple belt, 10 fights, pro fights, you know, or 10 amateur fights of experience. He didn't have a lot of words for us yesterday, but let me tell you, he has been working really hard. He looks great. You know, we've actually both trained with him, Cole. The thing that I notice about him all of the time is just that great length that he has. It's frustrating as all heck, right? You get good positions, good angles. Doesn't matter. He's going to be able to elevate you anyway.
Q-Sean is very loose with his striking. He is unbelievably strong for his build and his size. He's a blue-collar guy, full-time concrete worker, you know, and he's a guy who can come in off a 12-hour day of work in his work clothes, change into his fight shorts, and do 10 rounds. An amazing athlete. I've done sparring rounds with him, and it's really fascinating to work with somebody with that degree of length and angle, understanding of angles.
This will be my first time seeing him in the cage, and you know, I have anticipated this fight, and later on when we have Penel and Nakiev. Those are the 2 fights, you know, other than our main event that I've just I circled. Right, this is one of them.
Yeah, this is going to be a tall order for the karateka Ryan Grant. Q-Sean Pryor, a fantastic athlete.
Q, he's got, you know, an attitude. He is, you know, he's ready for this. You know, within limits. This is what I took from my conversation with Q-Sean Pryor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is
he has
scheduled for 3 rounds
very little
in the
respect for Grant's
middleweight
abilities,
division.
and so
Introducing
we'll
first,
see.
fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This man is a karate fighter holding an amateur record of 1 win and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 180 pounds. Fighting out of Salina, Kansas, give it up for Ryan Grant!
Ryan Grant coming out of, what did they say, coming out of?
Waveman, Salina, Kansas, under John McDowell and Brandon Shippey.
This man is a striker, holding an amateur record of 8 wins and 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 175 pounds. Fighting out of Combative Sports Center by way of Manhattan, Kansas, making his long-awaited return to the MMA cage. Give it up for Q-Sean Black Velvet Pryor!
It's been a while, but it's like he never left.
8-2 versus 1-1.
Yeah, Q-Sean, it's a long layoff. He hasn't been in the cage for a while, but
I'm going to throw this out there. This looks like a mismatch.
a little bit of a mismatch here.
Props to the guy that's stepping up here. What's his name?
Ryan Grant.
Ryan Grant. Props. This guy looks like he's having fun here. Oh, got a knee to the body. Knee to the body.
Yeah, takes the
mount.
mount.
Sean immediately takes mount on the karateka.
Oh, boy.
Difficult to see where his hands are, what he's doing. Right now, he's just going control. He might try a head and arm triangle here.
He's got a head and arm triangle. Well, no, he's got
it's
around the other side.
Around the other side.
Yep.
Q-Sean doing an excellent job with his feet of entangling his opponent's legs, preventing him from using the hips here.
Grant looks like he knows a little something here. He's trying to get his hands, or trying to get his feet down, but he let go, and this is now he's in trouble.
Needs to get to a hip. Yep, shut that down. Shut that down. I don't know if I want to showboat for that one. I don't know if I'd showboat for that one.
You know, Q.
Disrespectful.
It's a little, yeah.
You're 82, man. Come on. I'm going to throw that out there.
It has been a long road for him coming back to the cage, though.
I get it. I don't know much about the matchup. I'll show
Yeah, you know, we were saying, you know, Q-Sean Pryor, he's 82 in the cage, but it's been a very long layoff. You know, he's a hard worker. You know, he works about, what, you say 10 to 12 hours a day, shows up to the gym.
Right. No,
he's a blue-collar guy.
I get it. I probably, you know, I shouldn't say anything anyway. You know, his opponent may have stepped up at the last minute. You know, I don't never really know what the whole dynamic of the matchup is.
Ryan Grant came in extremely confident, to be honest with you. He told me, you know, that he's been doing this for quite a long time, and, you know, I'll let you comment on this, but he told me that he's had 30 exhibition or smoker fights before this.
Boy, you know, I mean, he was working his legs like he definitely, you know, had some experience somewhere. You know, one-on-one, you know, I would say he probably has definitely got more experience than a one-on-one guy. Just his legs, he almost got out of that full mount, and he knew what to do. There's a definite difference between. We'll let the announcements go.
Declaring a winner by TKO winner strikes, Q-Sean Pryor.
Another swift fight in the books here at Never Surrender MMA tonight. Full battle rattle in Junction City, Kansas. 4 veterans by veterans, folks.
Will definitely look like he's having a good time, man. So that's always entertaining.
Yeah. Welcome back.
And congratulations on to Will.
Tell me, how do you feel about your performance coming out here tonight?
I want to go again. Do it again.
What can we expect next out of you?
Another fight. In the first round finish, baby.
Give it up for Q-Sean Pryor!
What was his name again?
Q-Sean. Next up, our 6th match on the card today will be mixed martial arts, 205 pounds.
I know these guys, or I know Bush.
Josh Bush, he came in under 24 hours notice for this one.
Yes, Josh Bush is a tough guy. He trains out of Caveman and Caveman crew in Lee Summit.
They've been around a long time.
They have. You know, Rudy Bears goes back to you know, the originals that you know, James Krause, you know, Zach Cummings, you know, Tim Elliott, the original guys. That, you know, I'm speaking of all those guys are UFC fighters now.
Yeah.
So you know, that'll tell you a little bit something about Caveman crew. They you know, Rudy Bears was banging with those guys 10 years
Built
ago.
the MMA and martial arts culture here in the area.
Exactly. They brought MMA to Kansas City, and they are MMA in Kansas City. All the top-notch fighters come out of those guys I just mentioned camp. I know Josh Bush. Josh Bush has fought on my show several times. I actually got Josh Bush's very first ever MMA fight. This is a tough kid. He lacked some training before. He has since kind of taken the approach that you know, he knew he had to go to a big gym to get better, and he did that. His last fight was in the UCL cage in Lawrence, Kansas in October. He won by a Kimura, where he actually tore the dude's arm, tore his elbow, injured the kid. So I'm interested to see how he does. I don't know anything about his opponent though.
Yeah, his opponent will be debuting here with us tonight. So again, Josh Bush coming to us with less than 24 hours notice. Will Brower. I mean, it's going to be a tall, tough order. You know, coming in and your debut is against Josh Bush.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure he just wanted to fight at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he had Will Brower, who will be coming out here shortly. 2 opponent changes, 24 hours. He was originally set to fight Ben Wyatt Barnes, another debut, who dropped. We brought in another person, but you know that was also on short notice, couldn't make it, and Josh Bush stepped up.
And you know, Josh Bush, 2-time All-American high school wrestler. That's going to be a really big factor tonight, and we're going to see if Will Brower, which his team primarily being boxing, American Western boxing, long jab, heavy cross.
I can tell you that Josh Bush has been training his really heavy for the last about year. I expect to see. You know, a pretty solid Josh Bush for this fight. He's heavily into his training right now. I mean, he's taking this thing seriously. Hey, good luck to Will. Good luck to Josh. I think that definitely, like you said, it's going to be a tall order for Will.
Yeah, but, Will doesn't have a direct history with us, but he's actually made. He cornered last time. He was actually in the corner for Dale Asher. Now, Dale Asher, this is an interesting story. Him and Will, you know, are the co-owners of True Patriot Apparel, which is you know, not an official sponsor, but still somebody. You know, it's a veteran-run organization that we'd like to give plugs here at Never Surrender MMA. You know, and they give the love right back. He wanted us to mention that if you go to their site, TruePatriot.com, they're giving 10% of all of their sales to the Green Beret Foundation. They'll also give you 10% off if you use the discount code FIGHT10. So Will Brower, you know, he's got a big task ahead of him, but he's a great individual.
True Patriot Apparel, get some fight gear, get a discount, support a great cause. Never Surrender MMA is all about veterans, and so is True Patriot Apparel. So show some love, show some support. Entering the ring to Johnny Cash, I gotta love it.
Scheduled for 3 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with an amateur record of 5 wins and 4 losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 199 pounds. Training out of Caveman Crew MMA by way of Leavenworth, Kansas. Introducing Josh Viking Bush. And his opponent, fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner. This man is a striker. Making his MMA debut, he stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 202 pounds. Training at a True Patriot Gym by way of Sabetha, Kansas. Introducing Will Brower. Your referee in charge of this contest, Nick Barron.
All right, here we go.
Nick Barron, another jiu-jitsu guy.
Show of respect, glove touch.
I have to suspect that Josh is probably going to handle business here.
Will Brower coming out in a southpaw stance.
Yeah, right there you go. Right there you go. He's here for business. He's here for business. Now, I will say that Josh is getting a little heavy with the hands there early. He should definitely pace himself.
Will making a terrible mistake trying to grapple with the All-American wrestler.
I kind of figured it was going to go like that.
Wow, that was extremely swift. Immediate full mount. Referee decided that Will would be unable to defend himself from the strikes, and calls the match.
It's hard to let those go. Hard to let those go. You know, give a guy a chance to get out when he's taking strikes like that. You know, Nick's a good rep. I've always agreed with most of his decisions.
Yeah, and you know, when a gentleman's not coming from a discipline that you know, can give you at least make it look like you're defending yourself from the ground, it can be really in the ref's thing. If those hips aren't moving, if those hands aren't up to defend, that's what the ref is there to do, to protect the athletes, to keep it a sporting bout.
Yeah, you could take a few shots down there, there's a big difference between laying flat on your back and taking a few shots, and taking a few shots where you're trying to jump out of the frying pan into the fire, trying to push a hip, trying to get to your side. And we didn't see anything there except for more shots coming.
And
I can tell you that one thing that you're going to run into a little bit in
Ladies
amateur
and
MMA.
gentlemen, your
Let's wait for the
referee
announcers
Nick
here.
Behrens has called a stop to this contest at 23 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by TKO due to strikes, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner, Josh Viking Bush.
So, like I was saying, what you're going to run into a lot in these amateur fights, you're going to run into, basically, you get these kids that are not trained. They are basically,
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
the
I'm
win
here with
for
your
them
winner,
is
Josh.
to just show up.
Josh, give me your thoughts on this fight.
Good fight. He's a debut guy. He's got a lot going on because this is my 10th fight, so I kind of had the upper hand. I gave him some advice, get your real gym and train.
And what can we expect next out of you?
Somebody give me a fight. I want to fight. I took this one on 2 days. I'll fight next weekend. Give me a fight.
There you have it. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen.
says,
Josh
just
Bush.
give me a fight.
Yeah, Josh has always been like that. He's a tough dude. He'll fight anybody. But you get these guys.
Our first women's fight of the evening, women's MMA at 135.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting fight, I think. I mean, talking to both of these fighters, Annabelle Kelly is coming here from St. Cloud, Minnesota, fighting out of the St. Cloud Boxing and Wrestling Club, coached by Matt Legou. She's got an impressive background in boxing. She's been wrestling in high school. She started MMA kickboxing at 16. And, what's interesting to me is that our local favorite coming out fighting out of the red corner, Alexandra the Alley Cat Flores, a lot of respect for this fighter, says that 0-3 record that Annabelle Kelly has is not representative of the skill that Kelly is going to bring. And so, it made me incredibly anticipating this fight.
Yeah, background in boxing, wrestling. I mean, those are two of the cornerstone arts of MMA. Been training a substantial part of her life. Alexandra Alley Cat Flores, 2-0, tough woman. Coming off of a third-round triangle sub over another very tough.
Yeah, that was a great
woman,
fight
Rosa
with Rosa Medrano.
Yeah, that was a fantastic fight, Mike.
Yes, yeah. I want to say that I actually scouted Alexandra out. We have a female fighter that is also 2-0, and we almost had this fight. We almost had that fight booked for this show, and I wouldn't be announcing with you guys. I'd be coaching.
Right.
That'd be the situation. But I think that's this female that I coach, she is fighting on February 22nd at the Silverstein Arena in Kansas City. I'm just gonna throw an early prediction out there that these two are gonna see each other eventually. Her name's Ashley Harrington.
Yeah.
And when they do, I believe they're both going to be undefeated because I think that Alexandra's really tough and she's going to handle business tonight. Yeah. I also think that Ashley is very tough and going to handle business on February 22nd. Yeah. So I'm excited to see this fight for that reason, not only as a scout, but as a scout and a coach, but as a fan.
And here she is, local fighter, Alexandra Alley Cat Flores. You know, again, last time we saw her, she was finishing Rosa Madrano in a long, you know, in a very toughly fought match. You know,
Very fun to watch.
Yeah, she's extremely accomplished, multiple disciplines. And to be honest, you know, they were telling me all the training, the places that she's been recently.
Yes,
and I couldn't get them all down.
Yeah, she's taking advantage of. I mean, she's taking it seriously.
Yeah, she's taking it very seriously. Now, she did say a couple of things that, you know, if you are going to look for something here, she said her camp didn't go as she planned, and she kept bringing the conversation around to Annabelle Kelly. You know, I'm not someone who stepped in this cage, but you know, I have two people who have. If you're worried about not having a good camp and you're sort of thinking mostly about your opponent, is that the right mindset?
You know, every fighter is very unique. You'll have fighters who daily tell themselves in the mirror that their opponent is training harder than them to motivate themselves. And then you have the opposite where people believe they cannot lose. Fighters are the myriad and multiplex of you know, of people's personalities in this sport is one of the most fascinating things. You have academics, blue-collar workers, and everybody in between. That being said, Alexandra Flores, she has a unique mindset when coming into fights. Meditative and poised is how she described her fighting style to me once. Jiu-Jitsu under Professor Marcus Barrett, Muay Thai under Rico Steels, fighting out of Junction City, Kansas. So this is our local girl.
So very quickly, I do want to note that we'll after this, we'll get this.
This bout is scheduled for 3 rounds in the women's bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This lady is a Muay Thai fighter, holding an amateur record of no wins with 3 losses. She stands 5 feet 1 inches tall, weighing in at 133 pounds, fighting out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. Give it up for Hells Bells Annabelle Kelly.
I like the name.
Yep, Hells Bells Annabelle Kelly. Love it.
I like the name.
Fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner. This woman is a striker with an amateur record with 2 wins, no losses. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 130 pounds. Fighting out of Rico Steel MMA right here in Junction City, Kansas! Give it up for Alexandra Alley Cat Flores!
Now that's an introduction.
Flores definitely benefiting from the hometown crowd, getting a hometown introduction.
Oh, shoot, we're on.
And away we go.
She's scrappy.
Coming out fighting.
Muay Thai
Cat
clinch
scrappy.
immediately. Looking for that Thai boxing clinch and knees.
Kelly looks very just calm, just working, trying to fight this clinch, moving it back to the
She's
cage.
doing good. Yep, got the clinch. She's doing good.
Yeah.
Looking for some underhooks. She should be.
Good pressure by Kelly
Gotta
here.
get those underhooks. Yep, that's
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Yep,
okay,
there
she
you go.
got it just in time. She was about to get her back taken. She did lose the position there, though.
There she
Oh.
goes. Got the underhook. She needs to keep that underhook. Good clinch.
And
Nice. Throwing knees.
in this position here, you know,
Going for the single leg. Going for the single leg. She's got her head low, though. She's got her head caught.
She's got her head caught. As long as she can keep her body on the correct side, she should be able to.
That's her nice
Yep,
takedown.
but
Nice
Flores
takedown.
pulling,
but
knowing she's got the head, looks for a guillotine attempt here. Now she's got her hands around. I
the head
can't
out.
see the other side. Oh,
Head's
shoot,
popped
head's
out.
out, head's out.
Kelly is out of danger with the guillotine. Flores elevating her guard here, trying to get some defense going. Pushing off the cage with her foot, maybe trying to change the angle here.
Keeping her hips engaged.
She's got a lot of space between her. She's giving up a lot of space there.
And for the folks at home who don't understand the art of jiu-jitsu or grappling, right now with her legs wrapped around her opponent, Flores is going to be able to control the distance, preventing Annabelle Kelly from posturing up and throwing down those 4-ounce gloves.
She's got her.
Yeah.
She's posturing up. She's still. You know, she's keeping hold of the arms there. That'll make her work.
Now you got to think for Alexandra Flores, although
she had a hook and then she gave it up, and now it's moving
into half guard position.
Half guard, she's looking for pass. Now she's got her full
to
mount.
full mount. This is
full mount. She's punches. I don't think that Alley Cat's been in this position before.
Yeah, this is tough. Alley Cat
This
trying
is
to
new,
reach
this is new
up.
ground for her. This is new ground for her.
Trying to use her hips, trying to get close. She's running out of real estate, though.
Yes,
Now, what she needs to do, this
Get to
high
a
guard
hip.
is a
Needs to
bad
get to a hip.
position.
Yes, it is. Needs to get to a hip and get an arm out.
She's going to have to use her legs to
Get ready to
pull her
stop it.
opponent
Get
down,
ready to stop it.
not defending properly.
Yep, she needs to get to a hip. She can get to a hip right here.
Kelly trying to isolate, get the arm across.
She
Now
needs to
just
get to a
back
hip.
to hammer fists.
She's just, all she's doing is bridging. She
Bri-
needs to get to a hip.
Just bridging, not
Kelly
shrimping.
looking armbar
She
here.
needs to shrimp. She needs to shrimp right here.
No.
She can get out. She's
There we go. That's what I was talking about earlier. She needs to use these legs
got
to
10
pull
seconds.
herself out.
10 seconds. See how endurance plays into this fight.
An excellent first
Excellent
round by
first round.
Annabelle Kelly.
I thought for a little while she was trying to, from the top position, trying to move that arm across, that Kelly would
Yeah,
give
she
up the
probably
position
would've
and
had
go for an arm bar.
And-
Chose not to, and Flores able to get her legs up and defend.
And JW, I think that fight was dangerously close to being stopped there for a second. I was
Extremely
happy
close.
they let it go.
I am too.
You know,
I am too.
Alexandra was able to defend herself, but that looked pretty bad, especially unable to defend the mount with Kelly's wrestling background moving into the second round.
Well, I mean, she stayed moving. That was important. She was taking punches, but they weren't doing a lot of damage. I would say that, that Flores should have, in my opinion, shrimped out, got to a hip. She was just bridging, which is a huge waste of energy.
Right.
You need to move with purpose out there. Let's see how endurance plays into this fight. Second round here.
Yep. Absolutely. We're going to see something interesting. Like you said earlier, JW, she hasn't been in that position. I don't think she's been behind in a fight, down around in a fight either.
She's not. She's scrappy though.
Yeah,
She doesn't
she's
give
coming
up.
out.
Yep.
Kelly again.
Kelly got that beautiful single leg takedown in the
She's
first
kinda-
round.
And now we
Thai
have a
clinch.
Thai boxing fight, folks.
We do.
Knees flying from the clinch.
I don't
Both
know-
of them traditional Thai boxing here with that.
And that's actually what Kelly did there, abandoning that was probably the right
Single leg.
choice. I don't want to do Thai boxing with Flores.
Flores sprawls.
Deep sprawl,
Yep.
good technique
Good
this
sprawl.
time,
She sees
trying
she
to
can take
move
her
to the back.
Yep.
Yep, try to move to the back. And Kelly was able to
stands
stand
back
up. Yeah.
Yep, stands back up with her.
Kelly really implementing a wrestling game plan, pressing
Foot stomp,
Alexandra.
love it.
Doing well. She's doing well.
Excellent
The foot
technique. I
stomps.
like
Yes,
seeing
foot
it. Some
stomps,
people
yes.
think that's dirty. I think it's creative.
I think it's you're using
All
your
of
brain
the
in there.
above, yeah.
I call that fight IQ.
Yeah. Flores sort of rolls her eyes after taking 4 foot stomps.
It's it's keeping her on her toes. She's still. I get it. Those don't really. It's like a jab. It's annoying.
Yeah.
It doesn't really hurt you. It just annoys you.
Kelly maintaining the underhook.
She's
Had double
really
unders
working.
for a while, then gave it up.
She's really working Flores here on the clinch. Really making Flores work. And like we said earlier, this is new ground for Flores. She's not been behind in any of her fights. This little short, where's she from again? Which stop?
And by being the aggressor here,
Kelly. Where's Kelly from? I'm sorry.
Kelly's coming out of St. Cloud.
Minnesota. That's right, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, she's doing pretty good. You can definitely tell she's got some wrestling.
yeah, and with the aggressiveness of Kelly and probably putting that first round in the books with the dominant grappling and cage control, you got to be wondering, with Kelly being the
Flores
aggressor,
is
how this
exhausted.
is going to look.
Flores is exhausted.
She's exhausted, takes a big body shot.
She's desperate. She needs to regain her composure and
Kelly's going to take the
Breathe.
back here.
Turtle
Yeah.
position, she gives up.
Yeah.
She should let go of that and just go to side control.
Flores needs to relax. She needs to breathe here. She's in mount again. Now she's in trouble. She needs to shrimp.
Yeah. Again,
Not
just
just-
bridging. She's just using her.
She is, and she's already exhausted. See how her hurt. You know, this is where you got to dig deep. You're in trouble. You're back down again. You're tired. And, you know, this is where you got to really dig deep. This will tell you, you know, who the true champions are right here in this situation.
And Mike, what does Flores need to do here to get out of the full mount?
She needs a bridge and roll. Yeah. Bridge and roll, but she's just bridging. She's not rolling to her side.
Blood coming from Flores' nose.
Yeah, she is. She's taking a tough fight here. This is I go 2 rounds to 1, maybe 10-8 on that last round.
Oh yeah.
Very interesting. Flores' jiu-jitsu coach, Marcus Barrett, doesn't appear to be in her corner right now. Rico Steele, her Thai boxing coach, is giving her the advice. I'm thinking she's going to need a knockout or submission to win this fight. She's 2 rounds down, definitely by my analysis of those last 2.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. She's going to have to win this by stoppage.
Yeah, she is capable of this, though. Last time she went 3 rounds and got a triangle, found a triangle on the ground, but this seems like a very different situation. You know, Flores and Medrano in that last fight were standing and trading, and it went down to the ground.
Still looks fresh.
Yeah, and Kelly's she's just I imagine that they're telling her to continue with the game plan, push back into the cage, and just continue to impose her will.
Yes, she's doing a great the clinch and making Flores work.
We've got some water on the mats. They're getting it cleaned up real quick from the ice, and we're going to get this started.
Take this opportunity to mention that Kelly's coming out here with a purpose, fighting for her father who recently passed. She wanted to dedicate this to him. Oh, slip. That could be it. Oh, quickly.
Could be a huge factor. Flores is scrappy. She doesn't give
Scrappy
up.
down there. But Kelly fighting up, fights for the double.
Switches
now,
the position,
yep,
escapes the
ahead.
guillotine.
Yep, that was the only in there.
Yeah, but she's at least got her in guard now. She can at least do some work, try her jiu-jitsu out, see how well that goes.
Kelly looking motivated, looking strong coming into this 3rd round, applying the pressure, escaping a bad position almost effortlessly, and
now,
turning the tables on her opponent.
Flores trying to walk her, trying to walk into a high guard of her own, but
she needs to get underhooks. She needs to get her underhooks.
Kelly able to muscle her back down. Kelly will be content here for a while, up 2 rounds to none possibly. Although I don't like putting that hand back for that pass. That's just asking for a triangle.
Yes, it is.
Very vulnerable to.
Elbows are out.
Yeah, hands are
out.
out.
You get a high-level jiu-jitsu, somebody that's high-level jiu-jitsu, they'll take advantage of that.
Flores tired, hanging on.
And Flores cannot continue to do this. She's already down 2 rounds to none. She's going to have to work her jiu-jitsu or get it back to standing.
Kelly using the forearm here quite effectively just to cause discomfort, to get Flores to think about this. Maintains the guard.
Yeah, man, I'm sure Kelly is okay with what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could just ride this out, and she'll have herself an easy win.
Ooh, nice shot there.
Yes. Body, head is what my
Right
coach always
hands
tells
to the
me.
left side of the body. Body.
And looking for an armbar. Not really much there.
And passes guard into side control. Knees from side control. Very creative.
Oh, yes. She's a good, she got good
And
fight
uses
IQ
it to get to mount and trying to finish now.
Huge fight IQ right now. This girl is very impressive.
This is going to be stopped if Alexandra cannot escape this. There's still time on the clock for...
Gets up.
Ooh, nice
that was
punch.
a nice shot.
Yes,
I'm not
it
sure how
was.
many more of these we're gonna see here.
He's close. He's looking to stop it. Yep,
And that's it. And Kelly gets the finish from mount position.
Nice fight. Nice
And
fight.
It's a wonderful
Annabelle
fight.
Kelly gets her first win against an undefeated opponent. She is ecstatic after the fight, fighting for her father, Stephen Kelly, who passed 2 months ago. You could only imagine how she feels right now, JW.
Boy, I tell you what, yeah. You get her first win ever, boy, and then it's dedicated to her dad and against an undefeated opponent.
Undefeated opponent, made the 10-hour drive down.
Yes.
I mean, she
dominated. Never once was she out of control of that fight. Maybe the slip in the second round.
Yeah, just the slip.
Yeah. Great fight.
Coach Matt Legou enters. Congratulations all around. Well deserved.
An excellent fight. Good toughness displayed by Alexandra Flores, and really awesome performance. Creative with the foot stomps and knees from side control. I dug that fight by Annabelle
Robert
Kelly.
Hastings has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 38 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner by TKO, Hells Bells, Annabelle Kelly!
Hells Bells coming down from the Viking North and raiding a win.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Annabelle. Annabelle, tell me, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling pretty fucking great.
What was your game plan coming into this hostile environment, knowing that she's the hometown fighter?
I mean, I'm always the underdog. I've never been the one, supposed to come on top. So finally getting to prove that to people, it was a really great time.
All right, well, I enjoyed watching the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Annabelle Kelly!
Very exciting fight. I'm a big fan of Kenyon Stacy's fighting style. Really interesting work. Hunter Vaughn, undefeated, entering the ring right now under the blue lights. KSU Polytechnic purple corner. He's fighting under the Caveman crew.
This is his first fight with us. I talked to him last night at the weigh-ins. He says he's been boxing since he was 12. He mentioned, victories in Golden Gloves and internationally with Ringside. Marine Corps veteran for 4 years. He knows to scrap. He wants to keep this standing. He's comfortable everywhere he says. He wants to keep his composure, though, and he wants to keep it standing, though. But win, lose, or draw, it's about the experience, he says.
The tension is building up here. Every single fight, a little bit more vibrancy, a little more energy in the ring. Hunter Vaughn, both of his knockouts fairly close in with looping overhand left hooks, I believe. Looking to do the same thing tonight against Kenyon Stacy.
And Kenyon Stacy now making his way, fighting out of Combative Sports Center. It's got the whole crew with him. Jake Lindsay, Joe the Nose Wilk, Q-Sean Pryor, victorious earlier today. Everybody coming out in support of Kenyon Stacy. Kenyon Stacy is a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know what he told me? He told me, Cole, he's going to train his whole life.
Kenyon Stacy is a purple belt in the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
What did I say? Did I get it wrong?
Indeed. He's
blue?
moved up. Yeah, he's moved up one recently.
Oh, I apologize. I did not mean to demote him. And, I train with him, and I feel bad.
Oh, no problem. It happens under the pressure. But Kenyon Stacy's fighting style is one of my favorite to watch. A brown belt in Shorin-ryu Okinawan karate. Been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing. A very, very interesting fighting style. Very dexterous with his legs off the ground, triangle choke. And I look forward to this one. This should be fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This man is a striker, holding an amateur record of 2 wins, no losses. Inches tall, weighing in at 154 pounds.
fighting out of Caveman Crew MMA by way of Raytown, Missouri. Give it up for Hunter the Shark Vaughn. Introducing his opponent, fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner. This man is a jiu-jitsu or Thai fighter holding an amateur record of 5 wins and 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 153 pounds. Fighting out of Combative Sports Center by way of Manhattan, Kansas, Kenyon, almost famous, Stacy!
Kenyon Stacy, you know, warming up with almost a traditional Thai Y crew dance, you know, getting ready for his fight tonight.
Yeah, he told me he was going to break that up, but also some break dancing. Don't know if we saw that.
We're on. Inside leg kick immediately. Kenyon goes high. Clinch. Kenyon very skilled with the knees here. Very sharp knee strikes.
Trying to take
attempted throw, good balance here. Teep kick by Kenyon that lands hard.
I train with Kenyon.
Yeah, so that tells you who's got the length advantage right there.
Yes, I train with Kenyon. I tell you what, this dude is jiu-jitsu it's just insane.
Yeah.
He's a purple belt, but he taps black belts.
He has a very funky style.
Yes.
It's very true. It's very...
his triangle is insane. Like, I can't get out of it. It's horrible.
You know, my best triangle defense against Kenyon has just been to not be in it. But this
and
is
the takedown by Kenyon Stacy.
Kenyon is high. He doesn't seem to be
not worried about
in too much trouble right now. He's working the side, floating ribs, kidneys.
Doesn't seem to be too worried about it.
Nope, not at all.
Yep.
Turns his opponent into the cage here.
Starting to step
over.
There
goes his legs.
Into half guard, improving his position.
Like, yeah, this guy's legs are insane. Like, he just, you see him tie him up right now. Yep, he's moving those legs into position, and Hunter's doing a good job.
Yep, he's got to hold on. He's trying to pass. Or Kenyon Stacy's trying to pass.
Yes, Hunter's doing a good job here. Just to keep Kenyon, you know, from getting his legs going, you're doing pretty good.
To keep a grappler like Kenyon Stacy off of you is a talent in and of itself.
I would agree. It's looking like he's trying to go for that guillotine. He's trying to burn himself out.
And that shoulder pressure by Kenyon, you know, Hunter Vaughn is taking all of Kenyon's weight now. He's going to be more exhausted, you know, carrying that weight on top of him. And obviously the discouragement of being on the bottom.
For that long. And then, you know, it would be really interesting here just knowing Kenyon a little bit.
Kenyon passes guard.
Oh, no.
And then gets the lockdown, steps through.
He's got him in the twist. He's got his body twisted. This is not good for Hunter. Hunter needs to get his space. He's got to roll to his belly. The only way out of this is to roll to his belly.
Yeah. And I think
he
knows
it. This is a bad spot. Yep, this is a bad spot to be. Very bad spot to be. He gets out of it. Nice, nice.
Kenyon's going to try to step around and get that second hook to take the back. The cage is in his way, but let's see if he can get one of those lanky, dexterous legs through. Takes the back.
Looks like it's going to the second
Going
round.
for a choke. I can't see if it's in.
It is not.
It is not. And he weathers.
And a round in the books for Kenyon Stacy.
You know, every time I think I know what Kenyon's going for, so that to me looked like he was going to weather that, and then he was going to go for the Von Flu, but instead he turns it into a twister attempt.
Yes, and he almost had it. That twister is not fun to be in. It's you know, it's funny to see him go for that because we've been working on that in practice.
Never surrender ring girl Ella making her way around the cage.
Hunter Vaughn, though, able to weather, standing through. Also coming out of the Caveman Crew under Rudy Bear, so you know he's ready. This is actually, you know, how Josh Bush was, why he was here, right? He was not expecting to fight today, but he was here with Hunter Vaughn, and they needed somebody. Yeah.
Both the Caveman Crew and Chiefs of Jerseys. Go Chiefs. Moving into our second round here.
Round 2. Here we go.
Expect Kenyon to be very similar.
Yes.
Expect Hunter Vaughn to try to increase the volume with his hands here.
He's got some long legs. Hunter's doing good. Hunter is doing good. It's a good fight.
Hunter working that long left hook that he's gotten those 2 W's with.
Got the underhooks. Got him up against the clinch right in front of us.
Right in front of us.
Yep.
Definitely got one under. It looks like he's got double unders.
Oh, he's got a leg lock here.
Oh, yeah.
Sips his leg out.
Now Hunter working for the Wizard on the other side, trying to take him back that way.
Double under, he's got a body lock.
And Kenyon he entangles the leg, ko-uchigari, or o-uchigari rather in judo terminology, gets the takedown,
Hunter
and has
going for
passed the guard.
Yeah. Hunter again just wrenching on the neck.
Yes, he's, I would say he should let that go and start working for an underhook.
Yeah, maybe this time we'll see the Von Flu.
Hey, I'm down.
The Von Flu choke is a counter to the guillotine, which will use your opponent's
let's see what we
deltoid
got.
to strangle them.
If he doesn't give it up, if Hunter Vaughn doesn't let go of his head, this is when he gets in danger.
Yes,
and
let him go. He's Kenyon's on the right, the correct side. He's not gonna choke him out here. He needs to let go of that neck.
Yeah, and he's not gonna sit there for. He's gonna try to improve his. Kenyon Stacy's gonna try to improve his position here.
Absolutely.
And it appears
He will
that
not let go of
now
that head.
Kenyon fully passes, full mount now.
Bad
you
for
have
Hunter.
to. Hunter has to learn.
He's got to let go of that head.
Eventually, he's got to let go of the head. Now he's just burning energy, burning calories, taking light shots to
losing rounds. Yeah, he's got to let go of that head. That head's no good. You got to let go of it and go for an underhook.
And that is on the left side.
He's got to let go of that head if he's going to do anything. He's trying to survive at this point, but you can see there's lack of knowing what he's supposed to do right here. I mean, you're not going to get a guillotine when a guy's in mount either.
Yeah.
Or he's probably just thinking that keep him from getting punched at this point.
Kenyon needs to add a little more power to those hammer fists if he wants to keep this on the ground and keep this from getting stood up.
Yeah. So here now he's starting to use the shoulder,
trying to do the Von Flu here.
A little late.
He still has a hold of the head.
Yeah.
He's got to.
Somebody in the Combative Sports Center corner just says punch his face a few times.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Now Kenyon landing heavier shots to the body. Those are going to take the cardio out.
Yeah, and the ribs are looking a little red over there.
Yeah. Moving, and now. Oh, Cage.
A second round in the books.
That headlock.
Yeah, it was. It's a hard thing to learn, like when you no longer have the position when you're about to. So even if you're coming up, someone's coming up from the bottom. If you don't move, you're going to get your back taken. You're going to get swept. Knowing when to give up on a position, when to give up on a submission attempt.
And I think instinctively you want to hold on to the head like that. Just instinctively, it keeps his upper body, keeps him from posturing up.
Right.
And anybody that's been in that position knows that you got to get out of that. Go for an underhook.
Yeah, and in addition to that, you have to wonder if there wasn't some strategy, if maybe Hunter Vaughn wasn't trying to get the stand-up to maybe work his boxing a little bit. Didn't look like he was actively trying to finish it, more of like stall to either avoid Kenyon's ground game or maybe try to get the stand-up and box a little bit. He does have that Golden Gloves background.
Definitely a possibility. Yeah. I mean, he obviously wants to keep it standing. He's got some pretty quick hands.
So Stacey will have a sore neck tomorrow, but
But
maybe
going the way it goes. I'd say he's up 2 rounds to none.
Yeah.
But this is where a boxer gets dangerous. Somebody with knockout power coming at you, knowing they're down.
And they're tired, and they're in the 3rd round here, so there's some fatigue going on.
A little slower pace, looks high with that karate-style front kick.
I would say that Kenyon's keeping his chin up a little bit. He should keep his chin down. he gets it back separated, see what happens.
Oftentimes, that chin coming up is a bad habit for karate fighters. Kenyon himself, a Shorin-ryu brown belt.
Ooh, that was a nice.
There
nice,
we go.
nice.
Knee by Kenyon
Shoulder
Stacy
strike,
and
dirty
shoulder
boxing.
strike.
Yep.
Yes.
Again, Ouchigari attempt
Everybody,
here.
ever since the Conor fight, has been throwing them in practice. It's pretty funny. Conor McGregor introduces a new move into the MMA world. Shoulder strike.
Yeah, this is interesting here.
And Kenyon
We'll
gets
get
his
the back.
opponent to
Looked
the
like
ground. He's going to work the rear naked choke here. Hunter Vaughn defending here.
He's got an arm trapped. Oh, he's in bad shape. He needs to move.
Stacy was high in the back. Now he's gone and worked into a better position.
Landing heavy shots down as an opponent.
Flattens him out. This is the worst position to be in the fight.
Horrible place.
He has his opponent in the most dominant position in all of martial arts.
Yep, got a hand through. He's working now for that rear naked choke.
It's not quite under the chin.
You get to this point when you're tired, and a lot of guys look for an exit too, and maybe just lift the chin a little bit, see if they can just get out of here and they want to go home, whatever. He's taking a pretty good beating.
He's trying to turn into it. He does. He gets back to mount.
Out of the frying pan into the fryer. Kenyon Stacy on full mount position here.
Much better than where he was. As hard as that might be to believe for someone who's.
It is.
Oh, well.
It's a win.
And he just gave up his. Yeah, looking for a way out, maybe fatigue, but he's definitely just gave up his back.
Yeah. He's at this point you got to move. You got to move. You got to keep going. Body back. Belly back. Just find something.
And now it sinks his hips right into the small of his back.
Oh,
he's working for an arm bar here.
Yes, arm bar.
Yeah.
Kenyon, now see how Kenyon's very patient.
Yeah, very patient.
Kenyon is a very good martial artist. Very good at jiu-jitsu. Hunter has just got his hands full right now. These legs, I've dealt with them.
10 seconds. They might let him try to get through the 10 seconds, but.
It's a clear win on, clearly Kenyon dominated.
And
that's a dominant performance by Kenyon Stacy.
Very nice.
This kid's got a future. He practices hard. I'll give him that. He's been working with us all week at Glory MMA in Northland.
Yeah, I love rolling with him. He's great.
Yes, he's a lot of fun. I don't like his legs, though. I'm going to tell you that.
A lot of the times, when him and I are training, we've got the gi on, so at least I can.
Yeah, gives you a chance.
Gives me a chance to.
When we're grappling, no gi, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, talented kid. He's got a future. And talking about Hunter Vaughn. I mean, the guy didn't look too shabby himself. He's going against a pretty high level jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, he definitely did pretty good in my opinion. He did better than I thought he would. It's hard to go the distance with this kid.
Great fight going to the judges tonight. A lot of heart by both fighters going through, just getting in the ring and then putting on such a great show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for these two warriors.
Definitely give it up for these guys.
At this time, we go to the judges' scorecard for the decision. Judge Kevin Champion scores the contest 30-26. Judge Al Midron scores the contest 30-26. And Mike Munoz scores the contest 30-25, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. Fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner, Kenyon, almost famous, Stacy.
That's two 8-point rounds and a 9?
Yeah, maybe. Or
yeah,
some way.
It was two 10-8s and a 9, 10-9. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, deserved.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. 100%. Yeah, he dominated. Hands up, hands down to Hunter for hanging in there.
Kenyon Stacy said he did a very in-depth study of his opponent. Was worried about that left hand and spent a tremendous amount of time closing that clinch and implementing that jiu-jitsu game plan.
Stacy, Kenyon, congratulations on the victory. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
It was fucking good. I'm always trying to get in here to get it finished, so it felt good to get about 9 minutes dominance for a guy with a history in another combat sport. He watched for this, and he might win this week, but I feel like a guy who's fighting everything on me. So, in the absence of a finish, we got 2 10-8 rounds. That's pretty fucking good.
I know that Kenyon Stacy makes his way around the state. He trains in a lot of gyms. I see him tagging himself in a lot of different gyms. Kansas City, here in Junction City, or Manhattan. I see him tag himself Wichita gyms.
Yeah, Kenyon's a lifelong martial artist. Says he's going to train his whole life, and a very admirable goal.
Absolutely. And he does take this seriously. Impressive to watch.
Last time I had an amateur title, it was vacant. This time I wanted what it was like to take it from somebody. So, keep it warm, because I'm taking it in every surrender show.
Well, there you have it, ladies and
Kenyon
gentlemen.
Stacy wants a belt.
Kenyon,
Basically, we can boil that down too.
Stacy.
That is true. Not since the first couple of UFCs.
This is Josh Pennell. Josh Pennell is in his second fight here. Last fight we saw with a submission victory over Travis McDermott. It was rear naked choke in the first round. And since that, something big has changed. Josh Pennell is the first fighter coming out of the Never Surrender Mixed Martial Arts gym, studying under Frank Portillo. And he's super excited to be the first fighter out of the gym. That also sponsors our show here tonight.
Frank's a monster.
He is a monster.
Absolute monster.
Black belt in judo, black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Black belt and I'll kick your ass and take your lunch money too.
Yeah, so I was a early purple belt the first time I rolled with Frank. Frank had 3 stripes on his black belt.
That's not enough. Yep.
Go back to school. Or 3 stripes on his brown belt, or 4 stripes on his brown belt. Anyway, it was the day he got promoted. I just remember, I don't know. I don't remember if he got me, but if he didn't tap me, I didn't do anything either.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might have survived.
Yeah, survival. That's what I do with Zach Cummings, my coach.
But Josh Pennell is prepared. We saw him game planning out here. He's certainly not afraid of a scrap. Veteran of the Army. He's got a brown belt himself.
Well, yeah, he's doing all right.
Yeah, and
they don't give those away.
That being said, the red lights are on, and Vikinti, the educator, Mikiev,
PhD candidate in math,
entering the ring, fighting out of Combative Sports Center in Manhattan, Kansas, by way of St. Petersburg, Russia.
Listen, I mean, absolutely, I can't say enough about Vic. Vic is a BJJ black belt. He's a master of sport in Sambo. He's a judo black belt. His teammates, he didn't say much to me in the interview yesterday, so I polled his teammates. This is how they describe Vic. He was raised by wolves. When he came to America, he swam to Alaska the long way. Everybody respects this man, and I'm so excited to see him in the ring, or excuse me, in the cage tonight.
Straight. We've got a black belt versus a brown belt.
Black belt. So this is why I circled this, JW.
Yeah.
Josh has a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, a brown belt in judo. Vic has the black belt in jiu-jitsu, black belt in judo, and the master of sport. When I brought this up to Josh Pennell, he said, "I've never trained Sambo, but sometimes my pants fall off in training," and that's what he's got.
Wow. This is, I'm excited now.
Yeah. But to tell you the truth, JW, like Vic, I wouldn't be surprised if he just stands there and tries to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
He just loves to fight.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. I can
Ladies
relate.
and gentlemen, this bout is 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This man is a jiu-jitsu fighter, holding a perfect amateur record, 1 win, no losses. He stands 5 feet 6 3/4 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Training out of Never Surrender MMA Gym by way of Abilene, Kansas. Give it up for Josh Pennell. And his opponent, fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner. This man is a grappler, holding a perfect amateur record, 3 wins, no losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 175 pounds. He is the educator, the polar bear, Vic McKee.
I like it.
Yeah.
The educator.
Yeah. So a little bit of a size difference here. I'm going to go ahead and say it might not matter as much as another fight.
I would agree. What was the weight class here?
We're at 175.
All right.
And we're off. In addition to his grappling, McKeev has an excellent left hook.
Little feel out process here. Good. Tripped on the cage wall. Leg kick.
Very poised.
Nice. Landing some big punches there.
Yeah, I told you.
Quick punches.
Excellent judo throw.
Oh,
right into the armbar.
Right into an armbar. Right into an armbar. Wow.
Pennell able to get out.
Yes, wow.
But Vic is such an exciting
high-level
fighter.
martial arts right here, folks.
Yeah.
You guys wanted to see martial arts? Here you go.
Yeah, here now
You're
he's
welcome.
moving,
Vic
trying
going
for the leg.
The Sambo leg lock, attacking
Nope,
with a
heel
heel hook.
Heel hook.
And
He's got it,
it's over,
Yeah,
folks.
tap,
It's
tap,
over.
tap. Oh,
Yes.
Pennell
That heel
wanted
hook's a
out much
monster.
faster than he got.
He tapped out twice there. The ref
Yeah.
did not see it the first time.
Looks
the ref
like
needs
Pennell-
to pay attention because I can tell you what,
and
those heel hooks
he's
will
limping a little bit.
Yeah, he's limping, but I think he might have escaped bad injury. He waved
usually
off.
when you tap with the wincing of a heel hook, it is already too late. You've already torn something.
Yeah,
It's a very dangerous move.
Yeah, we can only hope. But Vincenti, we told you, McKeev, the polar bear, the educator, whatever you want to call him,
That was
this
insane.
is a 3
Wow.
discipline master.
And he showed it.
And he showed it.
Absolutely.
And he also punched somebody in the face, like I told you
I mean,
he would.
Fast.
Yeah.
Fast.
Well,
Immediately.
Wow.
his first start was boxing. Decided that if he wanted to be a professor of math, that maybe jiu-jitsu and sambo would be the better choice. One of my favorite fighters, Vikenty Mikiev, actually rocking my fight shorts tonight. So,
Well,
All right. That's weird. I'm not going to ask any questions.
I didn't ask when he
judgment.
asked to borrow them.
No judgment. As long as you didn't borrow your cup, you're good.
yeah. I mean, should I ask? Did you wash him?
You don't wash good luck out of stuff, man. Just kidding, folks. Just kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Robert Hastings, has called a stop to this contest at 49 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by submission due to leg lock, Vic, the educator, McKee.
That was impressive, folks. That was true martial arts.
This is a guy who wins
All right, ladies
tournaments
and
for
gentlemen, I'm here with
$1,000
Vic.
prizes.
Vic, give
in
us your thoughts on
jiu-jitsu.
this fight.
It was good, interesting. You know, they say leg locks don't work in MMA. Well, they work when I do them.
We like it. We like it. We like
What
it.
can we expect
Yes,
next
they
for
do.
you? You're going to continue doing MMA, or are we going to try something else?
I'm finishing my PhD in mathematics. I don't know, maybe time to go professional.
Bravo,
Well, whatever
this
you
guy.
decide to do, I
What's
look
his name
forward
again?
to it. Congratulations. Vic, ladies and gentlemen.
You know,
Vic.
fight of the night, guys. Colton Hill making his pro debut. That is a big thing for a guy out of Topeka with, you know, his background and just been so dominant, and even against other very dominant amateurs.
Yes, he's beaten tough amateurs, high-level amateurs he's beaten. So, yeah, this is long overdue.
So our first pro fight of the night, I think first we're seeing David Ramirez make his way to a cage from Salina, Kansas, also part of the Waveman Combat Academy. He's coming with a, actually he wanted me to tell you that he dedicates this fight to his grandfather who recently passed. Again, he had 11 amateur fights, between MMA and kickboxing. He brings up Muay Thai and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. And he's ready to fight.
Yeah, Waveman Combat, has a karate background, and Waveman is the direct translation of the Japanese word Ronin, a word for a masterless samurai. So that's kind of cool. Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, 11 amateur fights.
Hey, you know what? I got to apologize. They've made a change on the card. That's not who we're seeing. This is Austin Levine and John Cantrell.
But this is still a pro fight, right?
Whoa.
It is still our first pro heavyweight fight. So let's back up. Right now what we're seeing is Austin Levine. He's coming from Wausau, Wisconsin.
I was going to say, they didn't look like David.
Yeah.
How is he the same weight class as
yeah, these are the heavies. These are our heavyweights.
Oh, shoot. Yes, they are.
And so, fight fans, sometimes change happens. So I did talk to Austin. Austin says he's here. He's fighting for his family, his passion, his career. He actually wants to make a go of this. This is what he wants to do. He wants to do it for his family, and he's dedicating it to his family, his wife and 3 daughters.
And red lights flash on for our man John Cantrell from Topeka, Kansas. Coming in, the same gym as Colton Heavy Hands Hill, who we'll see later tonight. Loves teaching, loves training, and teaches the kids and women's kickboxing class. That's awesome. It takes a lot of heart to do that, to invest back in the sport, and yeah, this will be a great one to watch. What else do we know about John, Mike?
We know that he's dedicating this fight to a community Tinley, who's a 4-year-old. Let me back up. A little girl Tinley who is a 4-year-old who was recently diagnosed with leukemia. They're wearing orange tonight. They've got a special patch on their gear in the corner. I'm not sure if it's on his trunks or whatnot, but. Look, he's putting it to this, and the thing that John wanted me to emphasize also is that his faith is really important to him. He met Tinley, through this program that they do. Someone that she's involved with that's in her family. Someone that got into his program. They work with school-aged kids that are struggling in school. And again, like we said earlier, the goal here is to inspire confidence in people through martial arts.
A good show of sport. Slaps his opponent's hand as he enters. And with the heavyweights, these guys are so strong. So unbelievably strong. Exactly. And with your fight career, JW, you know that.
This bout is scheduled for 3 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This man is a jiu-jitsu wrestler, holding a professional record, 0 wins with 4 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 244 pounds. Fighting out of Wausau, Wisconsin, Austin, the Machine Levine. And his opponent, fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner. This man is making his professional debut. He is a mixed martial artist standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 239 pounds, training out of Hastings Gladiator Academy by way of Topeka, Kansas. Give it up for the Iron Man, John Cantrell.
interesting part of Austin's interview. He said that he's ready for this to go 15 minutes.
So he's been focused on his cardio.
I'll be darned.
What do you think?
I think that any heavyweight that goes 15 minutes is a winner in my book.
And these guys are moving light on their feet, good kicks.
They always do at the beginning. Yeah, punching hard, going low for takedown, got a single leg, sprawl.
And stuffs the single and
a
immediately working to take the back.
Endurance up here. See, this is going to slow down pretty quick. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, Cantrell putting the weight down.
He gives up his back, not a good idea.
Into half guard.
Yeah,
does he have the half guard? No, you think he's all the way in mount?
And
right into mount.
we might be able to see some elbows here in a pro fight tonight.
This will be our first pro fight. Important to note.
Elbows coming. Oh, looked like he was going to try.
Important to note, folks at home, that this is a pro fight, so this is 5-minute rounds here.
5-minute rounds.
This guy's got time to work. He's not doing much damage here. He's
did enough.
Tapped.
Oh.
Did he tap? I thought he tapped.
Maybe. Well, he's certainly completely prone. He's
And that's it.
Wow. It's all right. Taking some damage.
And a quick attempted the single leg, stuffed it, took the back, landed heavy shots, and Austin Levine unable to defend the shots by John Cantrell there. And that is the exact fighting style you would expect from that Topeka, Kansas training school there. You know, heavy wrestling, heavy ground and pound, dominant position, great stuff. And Austin's back on his feet.
Coached by Scott Heston here, who enters the ring. Another Bellator pro, Bellator veteran pro.
And you've got a fight coming up in about a month, don't you, yourself, JW?
20 days from today, I fight in Thackerville, Oklahoma for Bellator. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Robert Hastings, has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 5 seconds of the very first round.
Declaring your winner by TKO, John the Iron Man Cantrell.
Cantrell showing respect, urging the crowd to give Levine his due.
Martial arts is all about respect. You know, if you want to, yeah, and then but that's the contract.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised to see Cantrell go pro. I didn't think he had a whole lot of amateur fights. He did well though. He definitely did well. He's a 1-0 pro now.
1-0 pro.
John. All right, folks, I'm here with your winner, John. John, give us your thoughts on the fight. Hell of a way to make a debut. How do you feel?
Well, it was a great fight. All the work you got, man. You protected both of us, and sure we're both okay. So all praise be to Jesus. And real quick, man, I want to shout out to Timmy Benishek, a 4-year-old acute thoracic leukemia who was fighting for life, and that's what this fight is about for me. So, everyone, please say a prayer for her. If you get a good spirit up in the air, you can go home and healthy. Thank you.
Awesome performance, great words there. What can we expect next from you, John?
This isn't set for sure yet, but maybe a Showtime box.
I like the sounds of it. Give it up for him, John Cantrell.
Yeah, that's what I think he did say he was going to try boxing. I don't know.
All right.
That's what I thought he said, but I could be mistaken.
Could be mistaken.
Wins by takedowns and ground and pound and said, I want to stand.
Okay.
Congratulations to John Cantrell. Good win, buddy.
Good win, great sportsmanship.
Yes, sir. Always nice to see.
Match 11, moving forward, man. 205 Pro MMA.
Yeah, it turns out it wasn't a mistake in the card, just the user here getting us the wrong information, so I apologize for that.
It's getting to be that time. Are you ready? This next bout is sponsored by Dick Edwards Auto Plaza.
Blue lights up.
Yeah, blue lights are up, and this should be David Ramirez.
See if we can get right this time. Coming out to some Ted Nugent.
David Ramirez soaking up the vibe as he enters the ring. Shoulders look relaxed, deep breathing. This is going to be a good one. Fighting out of Salina, Kansas, Wave Man Combat.
Yeah, you know, we've already introduced him, but, you know, again, you know, it's worth re-saying that this fight he's doing, he's dedicating to his grandfather who passed recently. You know, it's also worth noting on that, Cole, that, you know, he also said that that's how he described his camp. It's just good and smooth. You know, no problems, no injuries. He's healthy. He's ready to go to war.
11 amateur fights. You know, it's a great thing. Making, you know, coming in for pro. Is this his pro debut?
As far as I could tell, it was his pro debut. Yep, that should be it. JW.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
David Ramirez, I do not know. I know it's Colton Hill's his pro debut.
Oh, it's Colton. So I think, yes, both of these fighters should be making their pro debuts.
Again, folks, you know, all the fighters tonight, for you listening at home, give them a follow on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, support them in their next fights. That's a big thing for these guys. You know, they rely on
you. Come to the show, too.
Yeah.
We got to help Sam support, you know, these shows are, I know personally that these shows are very tough to put on. They sometimes don't make money at all. You know, literally guys like Sam and myself would put these on almost at a loss just because we love the sport. So
absolutely.
Come out, buy a ticket, buy a beer, you know, have some fun, watch some live fights.
Yep. We do have a packed house. We'll get to that in a minute. This is Colton Hill coming, wearing a bandit bandana across his face.
Colton Heavy Hands Hill, Heston Gladiator Academy out of Topeka, Kansas. Wrestling, boxing, 16 amateur fights, making his pro debut tonight. He is dedicated to his team and training hard. Wants to thank his girlfriend for the support tonight.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that he's you know, his nickname's Heavy Hands, because I think he's more of a grappling, take you to the ground and pound guy. More of an athlete type fighter than I would say a knockout artist.
Knockout artist.
Kind of a Heavy Hands nickname. Anyway.
Yeah, you know, your hands feel heavier when you got gravity, ground and pound. Yeah, maybe. We can make it work.
Yeah. He's a good fighter, and he's got a hell of a good record. So I'm just going to shut up.
He is coming off a win over a great athlete, Justin Henry, in our last event, and really great fight. Went to decision. Colton got the better of that one, and then decided, you know, I'm going to make my pro debut, take this to the next level.
I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Justin Henry. Justin Henry had his fight tonight, you know, fall through. And Justin Henry is just a hard worker. You know, it was great to see you know, him and Colton go. Colton, though, you know, at 205 had about, well, and he's walking in here at 205 maybe, but you know, Justin Henry fights at 180, 185, so it looked like about 40 pound mismatch last time.
Yeah, Colton usually drops 185 too, but he's a big 185er.
He looks like he would be a big 185er.
Yeah, he's slotted 185 a few times.
Now you can just tell the
Ladies
energy
and
in the ring, the
gentlemen,
difference
this bout is
between the
scheduled
pros
for
and the
3 rounds
amateurs, the
in the
level
light
of
heavyweight
poise, the
division.
confidence, and the
And
body
it is
language.
the
is
co-main
next
event
level.
of the
Sells a
evening.
lot of tickets too, so I assume it's gonna be a loud fight.
Introducing first,
As is
fighting out
deserved.
of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This man is a Muay Thai fighter making his professional debut. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 198 pounds. Training out of Wave Man Combat Academy by way of Salina, Kansas, David Ramirez. And his opponent, fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner. This man is a striker, also making his professional debut. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 202 pounds. Training out of Hastings Gladiator Academy by way of Topeka, Kansas. Give it up for Colton Heavy Hands Hill.
Getting some cheers, a popular fighter here.
Cole, JW, fair to say this is 2 Tigers getting ready to play?
I would definitely agree.
Yeah.
Let's see what David's got here. We know
2
Colton's-
hawks in the cage.
Colton's got extremely high endurance. He can last a while.
Tentative glove touch, being cautious, pumping that jab, looking for that inside leg kick.
Nice.
And under,
Yep,
body
this
lock,
is what Colton
elevates, and able to take him down.
Colton gets a hold of you, takes you
And
down.
passes the guard into side control.
Colton doesn't get tired.
Ramirez turns into him, able to recover the guard.
Really calm.
Yeah, very calm down there.
Yeah, I don't think that Colton's come across this yet. This type of calm, composed opponent.
Pressuring forward into the guard.
He is good.
Excellent work tying up the wrists of his opponent from bottom position. Ramirez is doing a good work here and attacks with the triangle.
Caught him, one arm in, one arm out. Oh, Colton does get the slam to get out and able to pass. That is just sheer power. Not recommended triangle escape. But if you can do it, wow.
He picked him up using his back, which is not a good idea either. No, he's got him out.
And Ramirez still trying to stay calm. Might be a little bit surprised.
That was a crowd pleaser slam there.
You know, those slams can take a lot out of your cardio if they knock the wind out of you. Come down on come down on the back of your head.
Lights out.
Yeah. Ramirez, though, in good position in side control. He's got one underhook. Oh, he gave it up. Using it to frame now. Create space between him and his opponent's hips.
Framing, looking to get half guard back.
And does.
Gets it.
Caught that leg while Colton was trying to step over with mount here.
Try some elbows. He's shrimping out pretty good.
Yep, shrimped out. Colton did have the crossface there momentarily. Doesn't seem like he has it anymore. Ramirez able to get onto his side.
Yeah, he's shrimping good. Still in half guard.
Looking like he's trying to entangle that far side arm with some kind of technique, perhaps a Kimura.
Nope. Colton goes back to the the crossface.
And then hitting body, body, head, body, body.
He's thinking about escaping his leg, trying to get to side control or mount, whichever presents
He
itself.
would have a better shot at that if he would take his left elbow and put it on the mat across from.
Really,
I'm talking like my coach talks to me. Left elbow on the mat. If he would reach across his opponent's body, Ramirez's body, place it on the mat, he could then untangle his legs. He would have his hands free. But
and Ramirez able to scramble up.
Colton's gonna want to keep a hold of him. That's what Colton does. Colton likes to stay in clinch.
Ramirez trying to separate, and Hill maintaining the pressure.
And looking for a double leg and then switching to the single leg, expecting to walk his hips away and rotate his partner down.
He needs to roll off of the cage to his left.
And trying to elevate again. Got away with it once.
He's going the wrong way. He needs to roll off. He needs to bring his leg back behind him.
really wants to elevate and slam again.
This is where Colton just doesn't get tired. This is where he's good at.
Excellent takedown.
There was an easier takedown there. He could have just pulled him down. He wanted that slam.
Off of the cage, just circled it and came right down.
You know, oh, don't turn your back. As they say at Combative Sports Center, never turn your back to the streets.
Trying to flatten out his opponent with the double underhooks.
5-minute rounds, he's got some time here.
He looks like he's got it. It's not under the chin.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just putting pressure on him.
Yeah, 205 pounds, you could probably choke somebody through their
You might be able to get the neck crank.
Yeah. Let's just use their own jaw. Ramirez can't see if he's got a quarter guard, if he's got a hold of a leg or not.
Yes, he does.
He does, and he's turned it into a half guard by getting to his back. He wants to get onto that other shoulder. Hill is going to use that cross face and just pressure to keep him from doing that.
The poise of both fighters. These are professionals right here. Neither of them are making erratic movements. Everything is planned. Ramirez knows he's in a disadvantageous position, but he's not making any erratic moves.
Turns in, shrimps, recovers guard. Nice. Very nice. Just out of time.
And that's one 5-minute round in the books.
Yeah. So, JW, you know Hill better than I do. Is he going to be able to keep up rounds if he continues to pick him up twice?
You know, I don't know. We'll see, because I've seen Colton do some pretty amazing stuff. I mean, as far as endurance goes, I've never seen this kid tired. You know, we're again, this is a pro debut. We're going from 3-minute rounds to 5-minute rounds. So we go from a 9-minute fight to a 15-minute fight. We're going to see how he does. I've been impressed with anything that Colton has ever shown me. It has been his endurance.
5-minute rounds. You know, just for the people at home, if you don't understand what 3 or 5 minutes of fighting is, just try to punch in the air for 3 minutes at home. You will be exhausted. You will be out of breath, sweating. No. These guys are fighting a resisting opponent for 5 minutes, wrestling, trying not to be choked, trying not to be knocked unconscious. This is the hardest sport on planet Earth. You have to master boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling on top of all the requirements of another athletic event.
Ready for round 2.
Colton does not want to stand with this dude. He's looking for that right.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah. Really does not want to stand. Trying to take it to the ground. Ramirez wants to keep it up there. I think he senses that he's got the advantage.
He does.
Classic MMA battle of striker versus grappler, JW.
Oh.
Colton's hurt. Colton's hurt. But he is Norwegian.
Returns fire with a nice kick to the midsection.
Nothing against the Norwegians. They're just saying this dude's just tough, and he doesn't know any better than to just keep fighting.
Oh, that shot took his mouthpiece out.
To get a hold of him. Colton's
Now,
got a fight on his hands here.
Yeah, Ramirez, he's got both. He's got a guillotine. No arms are in. He's trying to finish it standing. Or he was. Now he's just trying to wear him down.
He's got the hands separated now.
Okay. And now he's going to get a double.
Double leg takedown. Again, he does not give up. The kid just has no quit in him.
So there you go. So there's a good example of Ramirez. Oh, fitting the mouthpiece.
So you got to put it in.
Yeah, you ain't going to put it in there for him. All right, and now they can continue.
He's got side mount.
Yep, good side control here. Yep. Able to pressure.
Great job by the ref seeing the mouthpiece and getting that back in for Colton Hill.
So Ramirez was good. He's got one hook in. Now he's got the other, and now he's going for the rear naked. Ramirez in a little bit of trouble here. He was able to secure the bottom hand, but they're just strong. He's just going to go through it. Now trying to push the elbow up over the head. And he's going to take some shots, able to get to his knees.
And this is looking like it's sunk deeper this time.
Oh, he manages to
rolls
turn into it.
To his back.
Very nice. I can see some fatigue setting in here, fellas.
5-minute rounds, you know, unbelievable exertion by both athletes. When you're struck, your body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. That's the stress hormone. Your heart rate increases. There's nothing more difficult than full athletic exertion under adrenal duress.
Absolutely, I couldn't have said it any better.
Few can, JW. I learned so much sitting here.
Yeah, so right here is, you know, where it's going to turn into a grind. It's whatever athlete can grind harder.
This
They're
could
both
turn
tired.
into a mistake here. Colton seems to sense he might haven't had an arm, but now Ramirez is able to trap that other leg and turn back.
Yeah, he got the half guard. That's doing good. He's winning small battles here.
Yeah.
Looks like he was thinking about the head and arm choke, but unable to get his head to the other side of Ramirez's tricep to press that against the neck.
Oh, now coming up, he might try to reverse this here.
Got back to his feet. Ramirez back to his feet.
And this is where he's dangerous.
Yes, it is. And Hill is taking shots. What a round, guys. What a round.
Oh!
Nice. Wow.
Perfectly timed takedown.
Wow.
Yes, beautiful martial arts.
Nice. And then, you know, Colton Hill, again, I cannot say it enough. I mean, the endurance of this kid is unreal. He does not get tired.
Just like when they were looking fatigued, he explodes during that kick and lands an amazing takedown, completely changing it.
You think you got him, you think he's getting tired, and then boom, explosion. Like, he doesn't have no quit in him. It's admirable.
And now, Mike, he just stepped over. What is Colton going to be looking to do from this position, sir?
So this is a technical mount here. It kind of looks like he wants that head and arm again. He's got his head on the correct side, and you kind of see Ramirez.
He's got the arm trap.
Yeah, Ramirez is doing what we call answering the telephone, and he's able to sort of discourage him there. Takes the mount, so gives up the mount. Colton Hill takes it. Yeah, it could be a Kimura.
It's a Kimura, yes,
yeah,
sir.
Yep, looking like a Kimura attempt here.
Kimura Americana. The arm will be facing up, trying to dislocate the elbow, pulling it down toward the hip. Still attempting this Americana, but he has an opportunity to throw elbows from this position.
Yeah.
He should be not so focused on the the submission.
Even the punches are a waste of energy. Like, elbow this kid. I think that he's lacking some. These type of fights are grinds. You got to get down there and get the stuff that does damage. That's an elbow. That's
get nasty with it.
Yes, it's where the sheer violence comes in.
10 minutes, exhaustion, fatigue setting in.
And he's helping his opponent up.
I mean, after 15 minutes, sure, you can help him up, but you want to make him stand up.
That was a fascinating round in my book, in my books, folks, because David Ramirez landing by far the more damaging strikes. You know, really only one powerful left kick from Colton Hill standing, but a dominant performance by Colton Hill on the ground, completely dominating the position, dominating the takedowns, but Ramirez winning the striking exchange.
Almost like it, yeah, I mean, it's just, it's all, yeah, standing up, Ramirez is just absolutely dominating. I mean, Colton looked to me like he was in trouble a couple of times in that round, and he managed to get the takedown, get it back to where he wanted to be, and get mount and just, you know, make Ramirez miserable again.
Yeah, Colton Hill utilizing a forearm, almost high self-defense guard instead of a traditional boxing guard to ward off those shots. I think that was a really smart game plan to try to make that forearm shield and absorb those blows.
Absolutely.
And here we go. Third and final round.
Look, he looks fresh again, this kid, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Inside leg kick. Another inside leg kick.
Hill looks fresher coming into this third round than he did coming into the second, JW.
I agree. It's crazy. It's crazy. The kid's phenomenal athletic ability.
Kind of attempted Fumi Komikiri, a light kick by Ramirez to the inside.
Oh, nice.
How about
nice.
a 1-2?
Hard right. Yeah. Now, I tell you what, like, he's stung a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. He's stung a little bit. There he goes
But
again.
then
Yep.
able to take him down. Ramirez able to get the full guard.
Let's talk about Ramirez. He's fighting a very tough Colton Hill. Like, this guy's doing really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exceptionally well.
Yes, he's tagging him. You know, we're talking about a pretty high-level grappler here. out. He's getting back to his feet. You know, it's
and attempting that triangle, which was dangerous in the first round.
Yes. He's doing well. It's a good fight. You know, it's Colton's doing what he needs to do, but you know, you can tell it's right on the edge of.
Ramirez really wants a triangle.
Really looking for that Senkaku Jime or triangle strangle, using the legs.
I would probably say Colton Hill's ahead in this fight.
Yeah, it's
just because of the amount of takedowns.
Yeah, and you know, time and mount. I mean, definitely being in dominant positions like that. Yeah, Ramirez probably needs to finish this. Yes.
You know what? But you never want to leave it in the hands of the judges. You know, although they are experts at what they do, we don't know how they score those striking exchanges, how they scored that submission attempt.
Throwing up the submissions. Really working here. Oh, it looked like he had an opportunity to sweep there. A little awkward angle. Yeah, so if I'm Ramirez, whatever you got left in the tank,
now's the time.
Yeah, fight that, you know, get that underhook, fight up. And don't give up mount.
Ramirez is in pretty good shape, too. He's been going for a while now.
These are pros. The poise, the cardio, everything's at a different level than the amateur division. Maybe going to attempt this neck crank, pulling the head towards his chest.
Oh. It's a mistake there, rolling to his stomach. He's going to be able to fight the one arm. He's going to be able to fight the, cranking on it.
He's cranking the neck.
Ramirez thinking about it, has his left hand down.
Like he wants to tap.
Decide. He's
and now he's locked it in.
Now, Colton Hill has his legs crossed there.
Can Ramirez survive this squeeze? And he
Yes.
breaks it. He breaks the
He
choke.
fights through. No, it's a little thing.
He had the legs crossed.
He had his legs crossed. You never want to have your legs crossed, but honestly, in a fight like this, in that position, to look down, that would have been amazing ring IQ.
You would have had to feel it. You would have had to feel it. You would have had to been,
You put your ankles in jeopardy of being broken when you cross your ankles from the back mount position.
Hill needs to continue this pressure. Ramirez needs he's got an arm trap. Here he goes to try to roll. I don't know if he had the ankle. And he's able to just muscle his way up.
Impressive.
Oh, just not enough. And now he's got it. Oh, he had an arm trap.
Oh, wow.
Oh, slips out the back door and moves to side control. If he's got something left, he's going to use it now.
He's looking to go he's looking for the triangle choke. He's got the.
Looking to step over.
He's passed. Almost, no. Now he's a butterfly
And Butterfly gives up the choke. He realizes he doesn't have it.
Looking for the head and arm guillotine now.
One arm
David
in, one arm
Ramirez
out.
Gonna pull guard and attack with the head and arm.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
He's got it.
Tight. It's tight. Nope.
Colton
Hill has no quit.
He shaved his head for that reason.
Hill has no quit in it. Absolutely none. Now, he gave up top position to go for that guillotine. I don't know why you would do that.
That was tight for a brief moment. There was a brief flush of color change in Colton Hill's face, but pulls himself out and.
Went for that. I mean, like, you're already up. Get your butt up. You're winning the stand-up battle. I disagree with his decision there, but hey, I'm not in there. They are.
Really trying again, trying to get one arm through between his legs so he can go for that triangle. Hill postures pretty well here. Some light hammer fists. And out of the body.
And now we see the first slowdown in both athletes.
Really, not really. I mean, they're still going at it.
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
And that's it.
What a fight.
Great fight.
An amazing
15
fight.
minutes of just full speed. Wow. Both fighters in excellent condition.
And this one is going to go to the judges' decisions. We're going to see how they score this. How did you have it, JW?
Oh, boy. This is a tough match to score. I mean, I definitely think Colton won.
Yeah.
Very easy. But, I mean, that third round, man, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe a draw that third round, but Colton won the first two.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get the, 30-20 to get the points.
I would say 2 rounds to 9.
Probably 2 rounds to 1 or
2 to 9. I would say 9-9 last fight or last round. That's what I would score.
Yeah, but an absolutely amazing show
Yeah.
of athleticism, determination, cardio. Just great from both fighters. Saw 2 slams. And then so in the second round there, was that like a high kick attempt where he slipped and Hill just ducked under at the right time?
Yeah.
It was wild, whatever it was.
It was a little bit of luck and athleticism combined.
David Ramirez winning the striking exchanges overwhelmingly.
Almost knocked him out.
Colton Hill with a dominant wrestling performance, and Ramirez with multiple submission attempts.
A lot of those submission attempts, there wasn't really much to him. Trying to throw up triangles. There was the one in the first round that he ended up getting slammed on that did look like it was close and good. I think he kind of got enamored with that and was just looking for it a little bit too much.
Agreed. Yeah, because that one was close.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys look like they could go another round. I mean, look at them.
Yeah.
They're not really. I mean, I know where I'm at as a heavyweight after a couple rounds.
I would love to see these guys meet up again at some point in a championship match somewhere and do all 5 rounds. Yeah. That would be great.
Yeah. What a fight. Very impressive. Hats off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecard for your decision. Judge Kevin Champion scores the contest 29-27. Judge Al Mildred scores the contest 30-27. And Judge Mike Munoz scores the contest 29-28, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the Dick Edwards Auto Plaza red corner, Colton Heavy Hands Hill.
Well-earned, well-deserved victory for Colton Hill.
Great fight. Great decision by the judges.
They got it right on that one, I'd say.
And moving into our third pro fight of the evening, Brian Santana versus Ryan Beckett.
Get some pictures here and then maybe a word from Colton Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Colton Hill. Colton, phenomenal debut into the professional division. Give us your thoughts on your game plan and how you felt the fight went.
We knew that he was a strong puncher. He was fast. Powerful, as y'all saw, he knocked my mouthpiece out. That was just me lollygagging my jaw off. That was a straight hit. That dude hits like a freight train. Give it up for Ramirez one time, guys. Give it up for him.
As I said, phenomenal debut for you. I noticed that you went in going for a lot of takedown attempts. You wanted to really utilize the wrestling game. Was that your game plan going in?
Yes, sir. Being 6'3", 6'5", he's tall, he's very big, heavy-handed. We knew my wrestling plan to do his striking, and that's the game win.
So what's next for Mr. Colton Hill?
I plan on fighting in February 22nd. We'll find out about that before too long. But if I don't, I'll fight May 2nd in organized chaos in Kansas.
Sounds good. Look forward to seeing you again in action. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up, Colton Hill!
Really cool guy, black belt in Goju-Ryu Karate.
So that's Lawrence, yeah.
I want to be in top shape just because Coach kind of gets him a little bit. They get me the bodies and I tire out. Also, I want to thank my beautiful girlfriend. She puts up with me with cutting weight. She cooks a lot of food. Tell her, I eat about 6 meals a day and she has to cook a lot. So give her a hand. Give my family a hand, give my coach a hand.
Congratulations, Colton. Give it up one more time, Junction City. Colton Heavy Hands Hill.
Colton. Lives, they've got families, jobs, kids, and you know the families support these fighters as they put everything into these camps and into learning these techniques. And the owner of Never Surrender MMA making his way into the ring.
Nope.
No, I thought we were going to get to see Sam for a second.
Oh, just a tease. Maybe. Oh. A little bit, no, and back down.
Sam Kleinbeck, amazing human being, you know, one of the co-owners of Never Surrender MMA.
Great athlete in his own right.
Military veteran, trains jiu-jitsu, black belt in Kimpo karate, actually.
Also played tight end for Northwestern. Played in the Rose Bowl.
Now, Junction City, are you ready?
I can hear Junction City. Are you ready?
Capacity crowd here tonight.
Sold out show.
Sold out show. Capacity here 1,200, 900 for sold pre-sale. Line out the door and around the building to get in, plus internet. Very comfortably full. You know, you're the fire marshal. Maybe just
underrated fight culture here in Kansas. A lot of support, a lot of wrestling here in the Midwest.
Absolutely. Big 12 wrestling here, Big 10 wrestling nearby. And now here come our fighters. This is Brandon Santana, 0-1 as a pro, fighting out of Lawrence Fight Club under Zach Thomas. He's a well-rounded fighter. I'll let Cole talk to that. The thing that I want to point out is that he's actually fought his opponent tonight, Ryan Beckett, before in an amateur night. Didn't say how it went, but what he did say is that with Ryan, he's starting his pro career tonight. He loves him, no hard feelings, but he wants it to be known that he's coming here to win, and that's the only way he expects to leave.
Training out of Lawrence Fight Club under Zach Thomas. As you mentioned, Zach is a pro fighter himself, a black belt in Goju-Ryu Okinawan karate, a very fascinating close-range style. Brandon also has training in Muay Thai, that's the martial art of the Kingdom of Thailand, a green belt in Kimpo, which is another Chinese very swift hand-striking method, and a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He also has some kickboxing training that he did in Poland, a very well-rounded game. And why is he fighting tonight?
Well, he's fighting like he just wants to be the best. He's fighting here, he wants to be the best. He has a 7-month-old daughter that he's fighting to get back to. He's here training and being in this fight while his daughter and family are abroad, living in Europe right now. You know, he says that everything that's happening between, you know, now and then is just in the way, and he's here to eliminate the
Dancing,
obstacles.
looking very loose as he enters the ring, and looking in extremely good shape.
It's really good shape. And here comes Ryan Beckett.
Red lights, Ryan Beckett, 1-2 in pro mixed martial arts, training under Combative Sports Center under Professor Joe Wilk, Professor Andy Weefald in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is a brown belt, wants the finish by any means necessary, and he wants lots of openings, man.
Yeah, so what this means, Beckett is the most cerebral fighter. He has been researching this, he has been watching, he has been tailoring his game. He knows, he wants to know what his fighter is going to do, or his opponent's going to do before he does it. He's told me it's all of these openings. You know, look, it came down to this, though. When he said he wants to finish by any means necessary, first round, second round, third round, doesn't matter. Knockout, submission. He thinks it's all there for him tonight. You know, and I've actually seen him in training. We've been able to do some rolling. But when I see him working the bags before and after, he just looks freaking tired of hitting bags. He's ready to hit somebody and somebody new.
And his jiu-jitsu coach is Zach Busia. His striking coach is Thomas Thatcher. Yeah, Lawrence Fight Club, Thatcher's Training Center. Brandon Santana looking to come in and try to get a win against Ryan Beckett. This is going to be a great, great fight, man.
Yeah, Santana looks good. I know Beckett's looking good.
Both of them have their crews behind them, their training partners. Ryan Beckett singing along with his fight song as he enters the ring here.
You know, call me a little bit of a homer. You know, I want, I'm looking forward to Beckett winning here. But, you know, it's not only because he's my training partner, Jim Nate, also because we came up with an awesome catchphrase for if he's able to finish this fight. Some final instructions from Joe Wilk. to Beckett.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the main event of the evening. Sponsored by Godfrey's Indoor Ranges and Tactical Supply. This bout is 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the KSU Polytechnic blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, no wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 150 pounds. Fighting out of Lawrence Fight Club in Lawrence, Kansas, Brandon Hitman Santana. And his opponent, fighting out of the Valor Automotive red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. He has a professional record, 1 win, 2 losses. Fighting out of Combative Sports Center by way of Manhattan, Kansas. Give it up for the Ryan Beckett.
The Ryan Beckett. Brandon Santana, Ryan Beckett. Santana is ready, Beckett is ready, and here we go.
A teep kick by Ryan. Ooh, Ryan goes high with that Mawashi carry.
Yeah, Santana's hands are just carrying him very low at distance here. Doesn't seem
could be part of his strategy to bait Beckett into a hand exchange with the hands low here. Really looking for a big shot here, or at least to set up an angle for dominant position. Neither looking for a takedown at the present moment.
Loading up and bringing those kicks.
More of a Thai boxing style, swinging with the shin than the snapping and spinning heel kick. Getting a little fancy here, very cool.
In and out.
Lands a hard right hand. Ryan Beckett
shot
on Brandon Santana. Still carrying those hands low.
And down. Real nice fakes upstairs with the right hand. Able to drop down for a double leg. Now trying to work. Santana has half guard trying to walk up. Now he's using, that was pretty slick getting up.
Trying to use an elbow, a downward horizontal elbow on Beckett. Beckett maintaining the position and good pressure, good use of the cage.
Yep. Trying to take mount there, not able to get it. Santana able to sort of start to walk himself back up the cage, back to the cage. And Beckett wanted the trip there. Wasn't able to get it, takes a knee into the midsection.
A very interesting, very poised fight so far. Nothing I'd expect less of our main event here. And the audience has almost fallen silent watching this fight a little bit. Much quieter than the previous. Good foot stomp by Ryan.
We love the foot stomps here.
Using the ball of the foot instead of the heel.
Ankle pick there, very nice. Very nicely done along the cage.
Second takedown by Beckett, dominating the positional situation and the takedown so far.
Santana able to recover full guard. Beckett, body, head. Now Santana looking to use a hook and a foot on the midsection. Let's see what he tries to do.
Elevate. He was trying to elevate and look for the up kicks.
Yeah.
Body, body, body head.
Yeah, just changing it up just a little bit. Keep him guessing. Beckett. Very effective switching to the other side. This is... this could go a number of ways. I think just
excellent transition. Beckett looking to take the back, and Brandon Santana successfully back to his feet. Still hands low, now looking a little stiffer than previously.
Yeah, it was a really uncertain position there. It looked like Beckett could have the back, but at the same time, there wasn't a lot of control. Both fighters seemed content just to disengage and reset.
And Brandon Santana, if I'm not mistaken, is looking tired. He's breathing hard. He's
had a lot of pressure put on him.
And you know this better than anybody here, JW. That adrenaline during the fight can just completely take your wind.
Absolutely. You gotta avoid that. I mean, that's the thing with pros. It's to stay composed. I mean, that's amateurs too. Pros are more.
And pressed up against the cage, Beckett with double underhooks.
Few shots to some floating ribs to end the round.
10 minutes. Excellent, excellent first round by Ryan Beckett.
Looks explosive, just feinting a flying knee there. Impressive elevation. Looking over, Santana does appear like he is fatigued. They've got ice on the back of the neck, taking some instruction, breathing heavily. Beckett taking some deep breaths, listening to Joe Wilk, but seems to have gotten the better of that.
Joe Wilk and Jared Coleman in Ryan's corner giving him some advice. Thomas Thatcher in Santana's corner. Let's see if the advice by their expert coaches can swing the tide in this next bout. You got to think there has to be a change for Brandon Santana's.
Joe Wilk, famous for this, slaps his fighters.
I've been slapped by Joe Wilk.
Yeah.
And we're off. Excellent.
Yep.
Great poise by both fighters, neither being too active early. Spinning back fist attempt.
Dangerous and able to fight back. You saw he was very, very close to having his back taken and smashed against the cage. Yeah.
Beckett turns him on the cage right away.
Yeah.
Santana's back in the defensive position.
And if you know how to take that risk, you know also what's going to happen if you miss. So.
Right. I'm not a fan of it because you got to find your opponent again. If you miss.
Yeah. Using these foot stomps now and still trying to go back to that ankle pick.
He's got to get his hips are flat against the cage. That's not good. He needs to shift his hips, shift his legs so that he's, in a sense, shrimping on the cage itself. So, he's got the overhook on the one side. What he needs to do is tighten that up a little bit, shift his hips, and put his right hip on the cage facing the head of Ryan Beckett.
Now, Ryan's going to possibly try to use his right leg to entangle the leg, just like we're seeing, and go for that o-uchi-gari in judo terminology, that leg hook.
His hips are flat. He's going to get taken down. He needs to move his hips off of the cage. He's got to shift his hips.
Ryan Beckett's fight IQ is really great here. He seems content to press his opponent against the cage, work a little bit off the clock, get him tired, and rack up this this dominant position in the eyes of the judges, and the ref separates him.
The ref separates him.
Let's see a fight here. Let's go. Hands still really low.
Yep.
Brandon Santana doesn't seem to be too worried about the stand-up.
A head kick, left Mawashikiri by Ryan Beckett. Joden Mawashikiri, high round kick.
I was going to correct you on that. I'm glad you caught it.
Got his kick.
Yeah.
Brandon is, he's not moving with intent here.
No, he's
Very bizarre fight strategy by Brandon Santana. He has been almost completely inactive in this fight, JW.
Yeah, I don't know if he's waiting for something. He's trying to counter what his plan is here, but he's moving forward, but kind of at a, he's looking to counter punch maybe. I don't know.
His one area that he seemed to have any particular explosiveness was when Ryan Beckett got very creative and unorthodox with that spinning back fist and seemed to try to take advantage of that. But now he just appears to be walking through.
Ooh!
Looks like apparently he's got the underhooks, and he gives one up.
Yeah.
Gives one up right away. He had a body lock, honestly.
He had a body lock.
Yeah, I mean, why would he give that up? I don't know. He needs to go and he gave up the
Yep.
body lock, and then he got it.
Beckett able to able to reverse the position.
Yeah, but he needs to maybe now he needs to shift his hips again. He's going to get taken down. He's keeping his hips right against the cage. Not a good idea.
You say foot stomp, ankle pick. You see it again.
He's smashing pressure on him.
If Ryan would bring that foot stomp down a little bit, he might be able to damage his opponent's foot and actually make that a technique.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's what he's thinking this time around.
A distraction technique to work that inside hook and possibly get the takedown against the cage.
And now full body lock from Ryan Beckett.
Uchigari attempt, not successful. And let's see if he tries it here again. And the other side, Uchigari, he's going to try to entangle that leg and rotate his part. There he goes. Down against the cage. Excellent judo.
Yep, hits flat against the cage. JW is saying Beckett able to take advantage. It's good technique. Yep, able to pass the legs by. Santana trying his best to give up his back.
And amazing work getting back to the feet. And he's changed position.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like
10 minutes.
Yeah, he's absolutely an explosive. He has a lot of potential, and he just seems to either, I don't want to. He seems to either not know or not care about some of the little things. He might be down 2-0 because of him.
I would say there'd be no doubt. That. Yeah, he has done nothing to show the judges that he was aggressive or landing anything that could damage Beckett. That being said, JW, in your 58 fights, have you ever had somebody try to stall it out and use that burst of cardio in the third round?
I don't know if you've ever heard about my fights. They never go past 90 seconds. Yeah, I live and die by the sword. Actually, my pro fights, most of them have. But before my pro fights, most of them were done 90 seconds. So, no, I've never. The answer to your question is no.
Yes, the answer is no.
They used to call me 90 seconds or less Kaiser. I would bait people into big, heavy exchanges, and usually I'd win those. Once that they didn't fall for the bait, took me down, I would lose those. Times have changed. Tune in February 21st. As I go to Bellator for the second time, and should be interesting. It's on Paramount Network. We got a pretty good matchup. So.
Santana and Beckett feeling each other out.
So relaxed, almost like they're going to try to do some hand-touch chisao or something, and a quick right hand, one of the first one we've seen by Santana.
He's just really not letting go. Right? He's not letting his hands go at all. He's staying really conservative, which I understand. But there's a moment you got to let him go.
And there's, this is his pro debut. there could be all sorts of possibilities with telling him to increase the activity a little. Fight.
Really? Yep, sure.
I disagree with that stoppage. I thought they were being active, very cerebral.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been something about yeah, it's hard to tell.
Maybe reaching with the fingers. You have to watch the eye poke. Very swift left round kick and a leg kick now. Finally putting some stuff up is Brian Santana. Heavy leg kick.
Oh, and see, starting those leg kicks in round 1 would have been, advisable.
Yeah, you should try a low leg kick.
There is still 4+ minutes for him to utilize that technique.
I would just go to him to start incorporating some low leg kicks. Ryan Beckett, he switches stances pretty good, but he's a little heavy on his front leg. He's moving forward, just not with intent.
Much more active than in the previous rounds is Brandon Santana. Left kick to the liver.
That one did land, yes.
And the liver connects to the phrenic nerve. Unbelievably painful to be hit with. Explosive double leg takedown.
Santana got away there. He definitely grabbed the cage. He ends up down on the ground anyway. But the Wilk and the Combative Sports Center corner pointed it out immediately. Otherwise, that would have.
Sometimes that stuff happens just on instinct.
Yeah, absolutely, on instinct, right? I mean, you're flying through the air, you just start grabbing.
Grab onto anything you can to lessen that impact. Santana trying to work possibly, a choke here, a guillotine of some sort. Not going to be able to get that leverage with the legs in this position.
Yeah, he's also only using one arm.
If he can pull his leg out here, the right leg, and get it to the cage, he can probably stand up.
Right.
Looks like he's got it stapled down there. Ryan Beckett on Santana's leg. He's trying to dig that guillotine in. I don't really think that it's doing it.
No, well.
It's keeping him from being punched in the face.
It is doing that. A little bit better.
He takes his left leg and puts it on the knee of Beckett, on the right knee of Beckett. He can push that knee out and start sliding his left or his right leg out.
This one's.
I would stand him up if I was Nick.
Yeah, I think that's what Santana wants.
I would say it's a stall maneuver. Stand him up. I mean, Ryan's not doing anything.
You won't win honor that way, but it is certainly a good strategy if you feel you are losing the ground exchange badly and feel like you have a chance to work the top position.
Beckett momentarily passed the leg across. Looks like he's kind of got it now. There you go.
The problem with this strategy by Santana is every second that goes by, he comes closer to possibly losing this fight.
Yeah, losing a decision.
Short ribs, short elbows to the ribs. Santana on Ryan Beckett. Still holding on, but Beckett pressing him against the red corner here, directly next to his coach, who's giving him advice.
Able to get to his feet, but that took minutes off, and there's only 10 seconds left. Beckett just going to hold on to looks to be a body lock. Nope. Yep.
And that's time.
Just does not seem like there was enough urgency out of Santana to win this fight.
No, for a main event and a pro debut, I don't know Brandon Santana personally, but
that is Santana's second fight. He's 0-1 as a pro.
0-1, yeah. I was unimpressed by his performance this evening, especially for a main event. Being given the opportunity to showcase your abilities, and really not showing us or the fans much of anything.
Agreed. Ryan Beckett, on the other hand, did really well. He impressed me. Very explosive.
You know, from what I know, training with Beckett, that's that is how he approaches every role. He's going to be extremely technical. He's going to be deliberate. We saw that tonight.
I am going to sign off here, guys. I got a long drive home. Thanks for having me. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
Absolute
before
pleasure.
you get out of here, JW, you're fighting this month at Bellator. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? And folks at home, JW came here to call the fights with us. Show this guy some love. Give him a follow on Instagram, Facebook. Buy some tickets to his Bellator fight. This is a Kansas guy. What can you tell us about your fight, JW?
I can tell you, I don't know if how many people are following the story. I know I got a lot of followers here in Kansas in the Junction City area, but this goes back to 1 year ago when I took a fight on Bellator on January 26th versus Jack Swagger, aka Jake Hager, who was a WWE guy. It was his first fight ever. Bellator brought me in to basically lose. I got a shot at Bellator on the biggest Bellator card in history at the LA Forum. A sold out crowd. It was a great opportunity. Let's hear it.
And Judge Mike Munoz scores the contest 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, fighting out of the Valor Automotive red corner.
And Ryan Beckett wins it.
Unanimous decision. Excellent work.
So as I was saying, guys, so I took the fight. Swagger, not to take anything away from Jake Hager, he was a Division I All-American wrestler, but they brought me in there to lose. I feel like that was not a legitimate shot at Bellator. Yes, I came in. Yes, I got to experience it, but then I became a 1-2 pro. At that point, I went to my now coach, Zach Cummings, and I talked to him about when I left LA. I got on the plane. I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth. I felt like I didn't really earn my spot on Bellator. I went in there. I didn't look good. I felt like it was just. I didn't want to end my career that way. So I went to Zach Cummings. I told him that I wanted to get back to Bellator, but I wanted to do it for the right reasons. The right reasons being that I was a good fighter. They wanted me in there because I was good. I had a good record and and potential. So he said, I got you. Let's start. He coaches at Glory MMA in the Northland in Kansas City. So I started attending regularly. I worked on all of my game from the ground up. We started from scratch, absolutely scratch. And
for Ryan Beckett.
Congratulations, Ryan Beckett. But they basically, my coaches, we went 4-0 since signing together. And now we've got our shot back at Bellator, and we're there for the right reasons this time. We're 5-2, and we're a ranked pro. We are in shape. We're in hella good shape. We're going up against a very tough individual. His name's Davion Franklin. He has never fought before, but he is also a very large man, and he is also a Division III wrestler. So he's a college wrestler making his MMA debut versus a 5-2 pro with 58 fights. Granted, it's. I feel like this is a good matchup. I appreciate the opportunity from Bellator. It's not like the Jack Swagger fight. This is a legitimate fight they gave me.
Awesome, man.